falls across the land. The great hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, you listen to these outcasts, for no mere mortal can resist the Sons of Serizawa Podcast.
I am Zazubaar, and welcome back to the Sons of Serizawa Podcast! But not any old Son of Serizawa Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I bid you welcome to the SOS Halloween Spectacular 2, a.k.a. the Sun Bears Strike Back!
There's probably not going to be that many sun bears.
No, I think there's maybe one sun bear, and it's not even like a real sun bear. It's just a fat guy wearing a bear costume.
And
he's off
we have him on rental.
Yeah, he's only here for an hour.
Where do you rent a furry?
They're not that hard to find. They're not that hard to find, Dylan. Especially in New York, you just got to go to some kind of bar and you'll find them. Just hold up a sign.
Maybe there's a nearby furry convention or whatever. I don't know.
No, you'll just walk along the street and they'll be in a little cardboard box that says "Free Furries."
Bill, do you know this from experience?
Well, I'll tell you, Dylan. Anyway,
let me tell you.
Anyway, joining me for this spooktacular episode of the SOS Podcast.
Oh, Jesus Christ! And you don't like puns, really? No.
That's not a pun.
That is so a pun.
That is not a pun. That's more like, that's just descriptive, that's just figurative language.
Yeah.
That is so not a pun.
You know what a pun is? It's a type of figurative language.
But figurative language is the umbrella term. Metaphor is technically figurative language.
You're trying to use an umbrella term to excuse the fact that you used the specific term,
Dylan,
which is pun.
That is not a pun. A pun is like, I thought of a really racist one. Never mind. A pun would be like... No, never mind. A pun would be like... Oh, okay, here's a pun that you said earlier. Joining me today, I unfortunately only have 2 SOS members with me, which is sad, but kind of fitting that we have the skeleton crew for the SOS Halloween Spectacular. Joining me today, I have Dylan McCandless, a.k.a. Super DM64.
Hi.
And Andres Perez, a.k.a. Kaiju Noir.
Creepy, spooky, rocket punch.
Scary
skeletons.
I don't remember.
I know, I was a little off key on those last 2 words.
I don't remember the rest of the song, though, is the problem. I just know those, 3 lines. But unfortunately, Adam and David could not be here tonight, which really tickled my pickle, because this is, one of our biggest episodes. The Halloween special, based on last year.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't even know how to feel
I
about
like
that.
to alternate them.
Is tickle your pickle supposed to be even more drastic than the rustling of the jimmies?
See, because the rustling of the jimmies is just like a passive aggressive move. You just kind of reach down and you
sounds like the title of a horror film, doesn't it? The rustling of the jimmies.
But tickling a pickle actually...
It's cock.
You gotta reach in there and tickle the pickle. Like, you gotta, like, reach up inside and just...
Please don't go into details of tickling your pickle. We don't need to hear this.
You know, it's very wet, so you know that it's really...
You gotta get a good grip
you gotta
on
get a good grip on it.
Oh, God, it's a wet pickle.
All pickles are wet, Dylan. All the best pickles are wet. Sadly, David and Adam could not be here tonight, but as another pun that David said was, they will be here in spirit.
Woo!
I then promptly sent drones to both of their respective homes and blew them up. I feel no remorse.
A happy moment.
A happy moment. So, gentlemen, welcome to the SOS Halloween Spectacular 2.
Very weird that we have finally reached the point where we are now repeating our holiday specials.
Yeah, I know. We finally reached that point, and we'll only have one more, really, because we didn't do a Thanksgiving special last year. We're probably not going to do one this year, because what the fuck would we do? How fat did you guys get on Thanksgiving?
I mean, on DFOS, we will have the 1-year anniversary of the Orca Torca Trivia Challenge.
Yes,
we
will.
We kind of sort of did a dedication of Thanksgiving on the episode that I took over.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I don't
remember you know why we didn't do it?
You didn't even pay attention to that one SOS that I did.
I skipped around, and I just found the racist point. I guess that's why we didn't do it then, because Dylan and I were doing the Doctor Who review, and then you guys did that episode, so that's kind of why we didn't do it.
Uh-huh.
But we're probably not going to do it, because I just don't know what we would do. We hit the two big ones, Halloween and Christmas, and that's it.
And New Year's.
Well, they're kind of it's a two-parter. We'll probably do the same thing this year as we did last year with the Christmas episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a pretty big episode, and you guys know why it's going to be a big episode, but the audience doesn't, which is mysterious and fitting for Halloween.
Obviously, it's going to be a big episode because it's Christmas.
It's a motherfucking Christmas. Well, that's the DFOS Christmas special.
Right.
God, can you imagine what happens if
one for SOS is just called fucking, I don't know, it's fucking Christmas. Go.
Yes, it's fucking Christmas. Get over it.
Christmas bitches.
Christmas bitches.
Well, no, Christmas, welcome to Walmart, get your shit and get out.
Eat your shit and get out. You guys ever see that slogan on a restaurant?
What, get your shit and get out?
No, eat and get the hell out.
No.
You never... Really? I was in North Carolina when I was a kid with my family. I wasn't there by myself. I was hitching my way down to North Carolina. Living off of ashtray contents, and I went down to North Carolina, and I saw this restaurant called Bob's Grill, and the tagline was "Eat and get the hell out," and I thought that was brutally earnest, and I loved it.
I just have this image now of Bill like backpacking across America, and like he gets off a bus, and he's in this like small town, and he's walking down the street to the song from Urban Cowboy. Anyway.
I mean, I think of The Incredible Hulk, where I'm like walking around with the doo 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 doo.
No, see, that's when you leave the town in disgrace. I already thought of that.
Well, that's what happened every time I walked into a town. There was no grace period where things were going okay. No, I was in a shit the moment I walked in. They're like, "Get that fat piece of shit out of our town."
You like Godzilla?
They threw rocks out.
You thought Frankenstein ran into a bunch of angry mobs.
I ran into the epitome.
I love how quickly they jump to angry mobism in those movies.
Well, I mean, you got to consider the time. Everybody was just an easily led fucking zombie. Everybody was just like, "Oh, he's a fucking werewolf. Let's kill him."
He's going to treat us with kindness. Kill him.
Hey guys, you know werewolves are kind of bullshit, right? Fuck that guy. He's a werewolf too. Let's kill him.
Kill it with fire.
Oh my
God! Thank God Bill wasn't in anywhere near the Bible Belt of America.
He's one of them Godzilla fans. Well, let me ask you guys this: you ever be in a history class and they'll mention like the witch trials in both England and in America in the 1800s? Well, no, it wasn't the 1800s, was it? It was the 1700s.
Yeah, I learned about that, and I was like, "Good, kill them. Witches be scary." No,
I was like,
witches be bitches.
Witches are boring. Fucking the werewolf trials are so much more interesting. Nobody ever mentions the werewolf trials, though, but they were just as bad as the witch trials.
How did they test people for being a werewolf? Like with the witch,
I mean,
dump them underwater. You would dunk the witch underwater. If they died, then they weren't a witch. That's fine. But if they lived, then they were a witch, so you had to kill them.
Well, no, the determination was hairy palms, living off, isolated, alone. It was kind of the same thing as witches, but it was just, I think it was the hairy palms thing that was a big...
So if you're a hairy hermit, you're just fucked.
Yeah, you don't be a hairy hermit. Because then you're just a fucking werewolf, and they're going to fucking kill you.
Or in these days, just like a fat, sweaty, nerdy, neckbeard, fedora-wearing person.
Well, the other thing was that a lot of people were convinced that they were werewolves because of mental disorders. So if you had a mental disorder, you were pretty much known to be a werewolf too. Mm-hmm. There was a story. I don't remember the specifics, so forgive me for that. But there was a story about this guy who had, I think he was severely autistic. At least that's the theory. Like the 1500s, and. A pregnant woman was killed. I think this is France that this happened in, which was a big hotbed for werewolf activity in around that time. And he confessed to it. It was like, oh, I'm a werewolf and I killed her. And they took him to court, and it was like the first time somebody was pardoned for a mental disorder because they didn't convict him. They just put him in a sanitarium. So it was actually kind of a big deal. So that's kind of interesting.
I was expecting a lot worse out of this story.
No, he was severely autistic, so it was clear. Yeah. Even those retards back then who burnt people for being werewolves or witches, they knew like this guy's not a werewolf. Because
that's kind of messed up in a way.
How is that messed up?
Like here's this woman who is like a very perfectly healthy woman. We're going to burn her at the stake. And yet we're smart enough to realize when a person is too mentally unbalanced for his own good.
Well, a lot of the times they use the witch thing to cover up something else, like they were a different religion or they were a druid or something. The thing is, they're not as stupid as I'm joking them to be. They were actually pretty. They knew. I think most of them had a vague idea that what they were doing was bullshit. But they were using the witch trials to cover up that they were murdering people of a different religion, or maybe because they didn't look right. You know, I imagine a lot of Jewish people were sentenced to that. But most like druids and stuff. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, did you guys ever read The Crucible in high school?
Well, Dylan's BRB, but I know of it. I haven't seen it or haven't read it. I know it's also a movie and a play, so I haven't seen it nor read it.
Yeah, remember if you don't mind me spoiling the plots.
No, you are not allowed to spoil The Crucible, Andres.
It was just like this girl. She was having an affair with this married man, and the married man said, no, I'm going to break it off with you. I'm going to stay faithful to my wife. And so the girl accused the wife of being a witch so that she could be with the husband. Mm-hmm. And that's what kickstarts the plot of The Crucible. And so it's just like these selfish motives that eventually got the town in a witch frenzy panic.
Right. I mean, people were easily led back then.
Uh-huh.
And most of it was this lack of information. Like, human history is really fucked up in that way, where the Roman Empire was, like, they were disturbingly intelligent. They knew a lot of crap that was completely forgotten after the fall of the Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And the Middle Ages was just this time of, like, complete, like, just civil unrest and like fear and superstition. Mm-hmm. So it's really screwed up. What happened in the Dark Ages?
So I come back and Bill's in the middle of a history lesson.
Well, I mean, no, it's nothing nobody knows. But we were just talking about the witch trials and werewolf trials.
Oh.
But early werewolf lore is very, very interesting. Have you guys ever seen the Hammer movie, The Curse of the Werewolf?
Unfortunately,
no.
I haven't.
I had, because I really love Hammer and everything they do.
Sadly, it's not a great movie.
Well, I shouldn't say that I love everything they do, because The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires was a thing. But
it's their Jekyll and Hyde movie isn't that great either. The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, have you guys seen it?
No.
It's not the best thing ever. There are way better versions of that story out there. But it's not terrible. It's just the idea of how they handle the multiple personality thing is really interesting. They do it where Jekyll is the one who's morally reprehensible and Hyde is actually more more level-headed. So it's kind of interesting in that way. But aside from that, it's just kind of okay. They do the thing where it's like there's got to be a string of murders connected to Jekyll and Hyde, which I think it's just kind of forced. I don't think you have to have him become a psychopath or already be a psychopath in that case. I just think just explore the multiple personality thing.
But
and
didn't he kill some motherfuckers in the book?
No, okay, no, absolutely. But I'm just saying, if it doesn't come up, but also if you're not going to follow the book to the word, which that movie didn't, but they feel obliged to throw in murders in there because it's supposed to be a horror movie. It just feels unnatural, you know what I mean? I think it would have been more interesting if they would have stuck with the psychological stuff and not just jumped into the murder stuff because that's what's expected.
Mm-hmm. Well, Hammer does make strange choices in terms of in what ways they are faithful to the source materials and in what ways they aren't.
Point in case, Curse of the Werewolf. It is such a bizarre werewolf movie, and it's really, really interesting because it's based more on classic werewolf lore. It's not. Because, everything after the Wolfman was kind of based on the mythology that Kurt Siodmak had come up with. And they don't do that in that movie. They go back to classic werewolf lore where it takes place in Italy. Is it Spain? I think it's actually Spain. I'm sorry. And it's all about, it's rooted heavily in Christianity. And the whole idea is that a werewolf...
That's another common thing in their films, especially in the Dracula series.
Yeah, absolutely. Not so much in Frankenstein, but certainly a little bit. They focus more on the Frankenstein series is more kind of cut and dry than the Dracula stuff in terms of the symbolism and everything. But in terms of Curse of the Werewolf, they go hardcore into the Christianity thing. And the whole story is that there's this. I think I've mentioned it before, maybe on DFOS or something. But the whole idea is that. There's this homeless guy who's rugged and he looks like a werewolf. He's got this heavy, thick hair and everything. But he's just like this clearly mentally there's something. He's clearly got some mental issues and he's homeless and he goes up to this castle. I think it was on a princess's wedding night or something. I don't remember the specifics. She it's so complicated. There's the princess's daughter, or is it the princess herself, or it's a maid or something, goes down there to check on him every now and then, but then he's completely forgotten about, and he's, starving, and then one day a maid goes down there, accidentally sees him, and brings food to him, and he's become, wild at this point, he's become like an animal, and he rapes her, and then she gives birth to this child, and because he was born out of this, rape situation, and because the guy had kind of turned into an animal, he became a werewolf. And then they just focus on him as an adult, and he's dealing with the werewolfism. It's really interesting. It's just really kind of a poorly told story. It's very, very jagged. I do think it has its merits, though. And the werewolf makeup is just kind of okay. You guys have probably seen at least the werewolf design. It's like this white, he has white fur. He's got the ripped open white jacket. Let's see if I can find a picture of it.
I'm searching for one right now.
The Curse of the Werewolf. I don't remember the year.
1961.
I've seen this before. Yeah.
Yeah. It's somewhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a werewolf to me, though. He looks more like a man who's turning into a yeti.
Well, he looks like the werewolf from Godzilla vs. the Legendary Wolfman, a little bit.
Well, the Legendary Wolfman had a snout at least.
Well, yeah, obviously.
It looked kind of like a. It looked the Legendary Wolfman. I guess that's what we should call. I guess that's what I'm calling it. It looks like his face kind of looks like it was smashed in. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, that's why I think they look like that.
This looks like it's trying to be more of a Lon Chaney type of makeup and not doing it terribly well.
It looks like it's uncertain of itself. Like it doesn't know what it wants to be.
I'm not a man. I'm not a werewolf.
What am I? Yeah, it's a werewolf with an identity crisis.
Was the idea to give him gray hair since that's more realistic in terms of a wolf? But this looks white. That's the problem. If it was a gray werewolf, I would be fine. But it looks too white.
Yeah, it looks creepy. The movie has some creepy scenes.
He just looks like an old crazy guy with a neck beard.
I kind of feel the same way about it as I do.
And some sick mutton chops.
As I do Werewolf of London, where it's like I don't think the makeup goes too far or too minimalistically enough. Mm-hmm. I do think this is a little better, and I think it's a better movie than Werewolf of London, but they've got similar problems in terms of the makeup and the story.
But I can forgive Werewolf of London on the basis that it's an early werewolf film that predates even the Lon Chaney film, and doesn't really have a lot to look back on in terms of inspiration. Whereas with this Hammer movie, I'm like, what are you doing?
Fair enough. This was actually the design that was the inspiration for the werewolf in the Monster Squad.
The Curse of the Werewolf one?
Yeah, it looks that werewolf looks way closer to this werewolf than it does the Lon Chaney one. That movie is a strange amalgamation of different versions of those characters. Like, I think the Dracula is way closer.
I kind of see it, yeah. Although I do like the face more because it looks more animalistic, and they do kind of put in more of that snout that I'm looking. I don't know why, but
I really
whenever I think of a werewolf, I always want some form of like a snout or at least a dog nose.
Yeah.
And anything with like a human nose, it just doesn't look right for me personally.
Yeah, definitely. That movie is a strange amalgamation of the different versions. Like, I think Dracula is kind of a mix of both the Bela Lugosi and the Christopher Lee version. Though I think the guy's performance is more close to Christopher Lee, but the characterization is closer to Bela Lugosi.
I really like that creature from the Black Lagoon suit.
I love it.
It's great. Yeah, I love it too.
Like, it's a bit too Piranha-esque for my taste, but
I just don't think he gets enough. I don't think he gets enough screen time.
No, doesn't he like die in 2 gunshots? Like 2
shotguns?
Yeah, he's
killed very quickly. I also don't understand.
He's a fish man. He wouldn't last very long.
I don't understand where the Wolfman comes from, because he's not in one of the crates. The whole story is that all these crates come flying down.
Maybe Dracula, somehow activated a curse on some random dude, or I don't know.
No, he knows he's a werewolf.
Some random dude.
I imagine he's supposed to, I imagine that the only reason he's not called Lawrence Talbot and he's not that character is because the movie is not a Universal movie. So they didn't have the rights to that version of the character.
It's depressing.
But it's pretty much Lawrence Talbot from Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's doing the exact same thing. He's trying to stop Dracula. I just think that's the only reason why they didn't even call him that, because they didn't have the rights to that character.
As you were saying, Dylan?
Oh, nothing. I was just it's depressing the lack of good horror movies on Netflix.
Especially when the majority of it is like all the stuff that you would normally see in on the direct-to-video market is now just thrown in droves onto Netflix.
Well, I actually think that's okay. I think that's a bad thing because a lot of the movies suck. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a good thing because I think that really think that this digital media is the future of independent film.
There's stuff on here like, Fright Night or like Evil Dead 2, and I'm like, okay, good shit. But then there's like last year, or maybe the year before, I don't fucking remember. But one of these years, for the month of October, they got for some reason they were missing 31 Frankenstein, but pretty much all the other like Universal monster movies they had on Netflix for a month, and it was like, that was great,
Yeah, they do the same thing with Bond, where they'll have them all for like a month, and then they get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. Remember that one episode of SOS where we were just talking about stuff that isn't on Netflix? Like The Thing is on Netflix. Like Dead Alive isn't on Netflix. Halloween is not on Netflix.
I think that may have been the Halloween special last year.
I remember how mad I was that like only RoboCop 2 was on Netflix.
Yeah, it's really? Dude, that's it?
I had a similar experience where I was looking for Starship Troopers. I saw Starship Troopers 2. I saw Starship Troopers 3. I saw Starship Troopers Invasion. Mm-hmm. But no, I didn't. I could not find the original Starship Troopers. I'm
like the only person that I know who doesn't like that movie.
There is, however, an excellent documentary on Netflix called Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue, The Evolution of American Horror Films, which I recommend to anybody.
Yeah, I've been thinking of giving that a watch. There's a couple of... They have like every zombie movie ever that isn't one of the Romero movies, though. But they have 3 documentaries about the Romero movies, which is really fucking weird.
They do talk about the Romero stuff in there. The only problem with it is that since it talks about pretty much everything in American horror cinema from like the silent days till now, they do sort of have to glance over a lot of things. Like I think they would have. I wish they had spent more time talking about like Halloween, but But
they didn't talk much, but that's kind of weird.
No, they do talk about Halloween. They just don't spend as much time on it as I think it's due.
I think Halloween is. I mean, do they talk a lot about Freddy and Jason though?
They talk briefly about Jason because of they mention the fact that like how he's characterized like a force of nature. Like I don't know if you've ever noticed, but like every time he shows up, like there's always a storm going on.
Yeah.
And they talk about how they are surprised that like Christian conservatives at the time were so anti the Friday the 13th movies because they portray this very biblical view of the world where like if you like have premarital sex, this guy shows up and kills you.
Wow, that's true. I never thought of it that way.
And they spend quite a bit of time talking about Freddy Krueger, but he's like the biggest horror icon of the 80s, so I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but I think Halloween is a way more important movie because it's without Halloween you wouldn't have Freddy Krueger.
That's probably my biggest complaint with the movie is that they don't spend nearly enough time talking, or the documentary that they don't spend nearly enough time talking about Halloween.
Yeah.
But if you just want a basic sort of crash course on how American horror films have evolved with the times and come to reflect whatever's going on in the real world at the time. It's very good for that.
Yeah, I do want to check it out.
Would you say that Cinemassacre's Monster Madness also kind of does that sort of thing?
Absolutely.
He does.
Especially that first year he did it when he went through like a general history of horror films.
He's way better at that than he is at reviewing the movies.
Yeah.
I
enjoy his regular Monster Madnesses. Obviously, all of us Godzilla fans have problems with his Godzilla-thon. I mean, I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do, but I
don't hate it.
Me neither.
I really like his regular Monsterpaloozas, or not Monsterpaloozas.
Yeah, Dylan, what the fuck?
Monster.
I was so mad when because just after Gamerapalooza ended, a regular viewer of ours, I think it was Matt Cox, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. Posted the title card for one of his Monster Madness. I think it was last year, and he did all the Gamera movies.
Yeah, I found that out recently.
I found that out.
I haven't watched Monster Madness in like 3 years.
Oh, okay, that was last year.
I've been catching up on it recently, and I recently found out that, yes, he did do the Gamera films, and it made me look at yours and think, James Rolfe did it.
Yeah, I was so pissed because I thought I beat him.
James Rolfe did it.
I thought I beat him to the punch on that, and then somebody was like, nope, he did it, and they were like, oh, he actually liked Super Monster way more than you did, and I was like, how dare anybody like Super Monster?
And he wasn't a fan of Barugon. He likes he likes the more stupid Gamera films more than the more serious ones.
That does not shock me at all.
Why is Evil Dead 2 the only one that's on Netflix? I mean,
they used to have all of them except for Army of Darkness.
And what's going on? Here's the main question: what's going on with Evil Dead 2? I mean, is it a sequel? Is it a remake? No.
I like to think that the first 15 to 20 minutes of Evil Dead 2 is like a remake of the first Evil Dead, whereas the rest of the movie is a semi-sequel.
Well, the thing is that it's obviously not in the same continuity as the first movie.
Right.
It's also a completely different genre.
Well, you see, in the first movie, you had Ash, his girlfriend, and some 2 random friends. Here, it's just Ash and his girlfriend who came to the house.
Yeah, wasn't it his sister that got raped by the tree?
That's the remake.
I believe the idea
the remake.
Oh no! Okay. I thought that was the original. I know nothing about the remake. I haven't seen it.
I'm pretty sure the idea was.
It's really good.
Oh, is it really? I heard it was terrible.
No, it wasn't. I would say it's really good at the least, but I would never use the words bad or terrible to describe Evil Dead 2012.
Oh, okay. I might watch it.
2013. 2013. Yes. Oh, that is. It's so good to see that level of like practical gore in a modern day horror film.
The thing was, I didn't like the first trailer, and I'm only I wouldn't even call myself a casual fan. I've seen Army of Darkness, and that's it. I haven't seen the first 2.
Blaspheme!
Dude, when I saw the first Evil Dead for the first time, I was surprised how unfunny it is. Like it's actually played pretty straight, so I'm pretty sure that was the point of Evil Dead 2, was to remake that and make it hilarious.
But the thing was, we can't take that seriously, so let's not take it seriously. Yeah. But I have to listen, there's a ton of movies that I have to sit down and watch. I was actually I sat down and watched. Was that
Kill Bill. For one.
I don't know. I'm gonna wait until G-Fest.
Imagine it's gonna be like we're gonna like film a little special of me just I'm holding the Blu-ray and the Kill Bill in my hand. You're running away from me. I'm just like walking slowly towards you like Michael Myers.
But anyway, so what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, so last week
I'm going to be in my plane inner monologuing to myself, and I'm going to be like, and when I reach my destination, I'm going to kill Bill.
I watched for the first time last week. I saw Shadow of the Vampire, the John Malkovich, Willem Dafoe movie. It's kind of a fictitious retelling of the making of Nosferatu. Which is a movie that you have to go in knowing that it's supposed to be a comedy, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of Willem Dafoe, did you know that he's in? Oh, I don't know what it's called. That fucking movie, the Kids with Cancer movie.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, he's in that movie.
Oh, is he really?
So that's what that movie's about.
Yeah, Kids with Cancer.
I thought it was like a remake of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Aren't those always fun? The Kids with Cancer pictures.
Oh yeah, absolutely hilarious.
Kids with Cancer pictures. That's a whole genre now.
It really kind of is.
It is.
Yeah, especially on like something like a network like Lifetime.
What was that Dakota Fanning movie?
Ooh, my Sister's Keeper.
That's it.
I
saw that, and I thought it was
that.
terrible.
It's just awful.
I'm just not a fan of the genre. I see. You can't ask me to objectively look at those movies because I just hate them immediately. I don't know why. They're so fake to me.
Here's a movie where a person dies. Fuck.
I'm not a fan of Kids.
Well, no, I just think it's so sappy and overplayed. I don't know. It's sad.
That's
I don't know because. Well,
they also have conventions of like the Kids with Cancer genre, which I'm calling it now, and it becomes very cliched.
Well, the thing is with me and that sort of genre is that like you, Bill, it's hard for me to be objective about it, but for a completely different reason, because twice I've gone through in my life, I've had people close to me who have died of cancer, and I've been there through the whole process.
I thought he was about to say that twice in his life he's had cancer. I was like, oh my god.
I was about to completely change how I treat Andres. Now, though, I'm still going to be equally shitty to him. No, but Andres, I hear that, and I have a similar thing with that whenever I see a movie that deals with muscular dystrophy. Because then I immediately am like, whatever, I don't care, this movie's amazing. Like that movie, this is a form of muscular dystrophy. It's not the kind that my brother has. The movie Extraordinary Measures with Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser. I thought it was. I thought the movie was extremely problematic, but I thought it was still effective.
I thought he was about to say he thought the movie was extraordinary.
I thought that, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Did you ever saw another cancer movie with Michael Keaton?
Another cancer movie. Which one?
I know, it's weird.
Please tell me that's the title of the movie.
Another cancer. That would be like, that would be the one parody movie that he would never make, is another cancer movie.
Another cancer movie with Michael Keaton.
As another cancer man.
Star of Mr. Mom.
Did you guys see Birdman?
No, I so want to see it, but there's not a single theater in San Diego that will play it.
I'm going to have to wait for the DVD because I can't get out to see it. I'm so mad.
Same thing with another movie I've been looking forward to. It's another Studio Ghibli film, made, the studio that made Spirited Away, Totoro, Ponyo, all that good stuff. And there was another movie, I forgot, The Tale of Princess Kaguya or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I saw a trailer for that.
Yeah, it was made by the same director who made Grave of the Fireflies. And again, this is...
Wow, that is the best title ever.
Grave of the Fireflies.
Seriously, one of the saddest movies I've ever seen in my life.
You'll dig it up, and you won't realize that it's a grave, because you would have dug up all the bodies already.
And then you will sew them together and make Frankenfly.
Frankenfly!
The fact is I know the plot of the film, so it just hurts me even more.
Is the plot of the film the creation of a Frankenfly?
Wait, hang on. Does it have anything to do with actual fireflies, or is that a metaphor?
Yeah, no, there are literal fireflies in the movie.
Because if there's no Frankenfly...
Are the special effects for the fireflies as good as they were in JJ the Jet Plane?
It's animation. It's Studio Ghibli animation.
That does not answer my question.
I think I've ever heard the phrase, as good as it was in JJ the Jet Plane, used in a sentence.
It's a first, Dylan. It's a first. I feel truly original for having said that.
We're making history here.
Well, anyways, the new Studio Ghibli film, it won't be in San Diego until next week on the day of Halloween of all days.
Oh man, that's weird.
Yeah, it's like
there's so many good movies out right now that I can't go see in a theater. I really want to see Gone Girl. I really want to see The Judge. I kind of want to see Dracula Untold.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, now that I know that it's going to be the first in the shared universe, I gotta at least try it.
But Bill, I thought you hated crossover shared universes.
No, I hate it when they do it. Listen, I listened back to that episode of SOS. That was overly. More of my point was it's just annoying me now that so many studios are doing it just because of the Avengers and because of Batman versus Superman. And there's no story or no vision behind it. I think that doing that with the Universal monsters could be really, really cool. I don't think they're going to do it, though. Because it just strikes me as, well, it's really popular right now, so let's just do it and see what happens. It strikes me as unplanned, which, it could lead to something cool, or it could lead to something really, really bad. So we'll see. Hopefully it won't be another Van Helsing.
Oh God.
I really want to know. I do want to ask this because Van Helsing, to be honest, is a nostalgic movie for me.
Me too.
I
pleasure.
I actually unironically like the movie. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I just see it as just fun, goofy action with monsters. So I really want to know, because it always flew over my head. It's always escaped me. Why is it that it's generally considered a bad movie?
I don't know how it was marketed. I don't know if people went in expecting it to be serious and then got...
No, I think a lot of people's problem with it is that it's just a huge, cliche. The problem is not that it's goofy. The problem is that it's so stereotypical for that time. That's what I don't like about it. It's such a stereotypical action movie of the early to mid 2000s, and the tropes are all over it. That's the thing that bugs me about it.
Well, now that I think about it, it does have that similar style and tone that the Brendan Fraser mummy movies had.
Exactly. That's what bugs me about it. Is that it's not enough of a... What was that?
Isn't it by the same director?
I'll check.
I think so.
Christopher Columbus was his name?
Is that the guy's name?
I think so. The guy who directed Harry Potter.
Stephen Sommers.
Oh, that's it. Okay, they have similar names. That's why, yeah. Yeah, listen, it's not listen, there are way worse movies out there.
He did do The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
The problem
and G.I. Joe, the first G.I. Joe.
The problem is not...
God help that man.
The problem is not that it's goofy. The problem is just that it's such a Matrix ripoff in terms of its style, and it's not enough of a... It doesn't feel enough like a classic Universal monster movie. I think it gets a lot of the visual stuff right, and a lot of the characterizations for the monsters. It's just the overall story and tone. And I do kind of like that version of Van Helsing.
And then there's a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen that's trying to be X-Men.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't know. I like their version of the Frankenstein monster. I think his design is weird, but I like their characterization of him. It's strangely a weird mix of the original 1931 Frankenstein and the book version where he's smarter.
Yeah, it is. Which is an interesting mixture. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm really interested to see how they do, if they're gonna keep doing their monsters like Dracula Untold, where it's kind of like a new spin on the origins of these monsters, making them more like superheroes. I'm really interested to see how they do Frankenstein and not just make it I, Frankenstein. Because we just had a movie recently that had a superhero Frankenstein, so...
Never make it I, Frankenstein.
Yeah, that is one of the worst movies that's come out in the past 5 years. It's awful. But anyway, yeah. Also, I think the next one is The Mummy, though, right, that they're doing?
No, I honestly haven't been keeping track at all of those.
I think that. Well, I know the Mummy. Well, I think the Mummy reboot was planned before the Dracula one, so I think that's the next one.
I wonder if they're going to base it off of the Boris Karloff Mummy movie, or if they're going to base it more off of the Lon Chaney Mummy movies.
I imagine it'll kind of be like. I imagine it'll be closer to the.
Because we already had the Brendan Fraser movies remaking the Boris Karloff story.
Yeah, for the most part.
Well, the first one is pretty much a remake, just with some original elements thrown in.
Well, it's way more of an action movie. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I kind of prefer that version in terms of a version of the Mummy. Because I think it's just more I think it's just more interesting to have him be intelligent, not just a walking corpse. I'm not sure how you do that in a modern age and also make it where you can put the character in with other monsters. That would be kind of the struggle. Well, the thing I'm hearing is that they're just going to try and make everything darker because, the Van Helsing and those Mummy movies were so goofy and over the top. They're just going to try and make everything all grounded and stuff. Though the footage I saw of Dracula Untold wasn't so much grounded. I'm going to use bats as a fist!
It seemed like it's kind of going through that whole big summer blockbuster destruction porn action.
I don't know, man. The phrase, use bats as a fish, is so awesome.
Use bats as a fish. That's a weird statement. I
mean, fist. Why did I say fish?
Bats are fish in Dracula Untold.
He became Aqua Dracula.
This summer, bats are fish.
In Rebirth of Dracula 2.
Rebirth of Dracula.
You thought Mothra was crazy with her being a fish in Rebirth of Mothra 2? Well, guess again. The shit's about to hit the fan. Again. But on a bigger fan this time. With
this
more
time,
shit.
It's like one of those big industrial oscillating fans. Like that scene in the second episode of New Who.
You know what? Fuck that! It's one of those giant windmills you see that conducts electricity.
I also love that, this would be text that's constantly zoomed out to the screen.
In the words of Bachman Turner Overdrive, you ain't seen nothing yet.
In Rebirth of Dracula 2, fuck
The Return.
By Alan Moore, directed by George Romero.
With guest writer.
Stay tuned for Rebirth of Dracula 3. Dracula goes to the dentist.
And the dentist is just like, that's our Dracula.
He's played by Christopher Lee, dentist from Willy Wonka.
Dracula, did you eat my nurse?
Yes, I did. You little scamp, you.
That's our Dracula.
That's our Dracula.
Why couldn't you have eaten the receptionist? The receptionist. I will eat her later. Oh, Dracula.
Oh, you scamp.
How do you mean?
Elaborate, please, and allow me. And don't look at my pants because I'm not wearing them.
I'll tell you.
When it goes without saying.
It goes without saying.
He's going to be very popular. That's my. We have an
enormous Vonstucker.
That's my favorite line in that scene.
What is it? He's going to be very popular.
No, because it's like he would have an enormous Vonstucker. That goes without saying, and then you just see fucking Igor just go. He's going to be very popular. I don't know why, but that cracks me up. It's just his delivery. Because it's also not a joke I got when I was a kid. Until I was like, oh. So then I finally got it, and I was
love jokes that I didn't get.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He's going to have an enormous cock. All right. Now that's funny.
Instead of Schwanenstucker because they're kind of German or something?
Well, it's Romania. It's not Germany.
I mean, yeah, but it's based off of a
They're different, Dylan!
Based off of a Universal monster movie where all of Europe is like Germany.
Well, it's kind of a mix of Germany and England.
Yeah.
Everybody's got British accents. I mean, they don't have German accents, so Dylan, you're kind of wrong. So
Actually,
except for Lawrence
the daughter.
Well, he's not a British guy. He was a British
born.
Yeah, but then he was raised in America.
You know who doesn't have a British accent?
Who, Dylan?
Baroness von Frankenstein. At least not in the second movie she's in.
Oh, you mean Elizabeth?
No, not Elizabeth. Who I'm assuming is supposed to be the daughter of Ludwig, even though they don't say that in.
Yeah, she has a German accent.
Yeah, even though in the last movie she sounded not German.
Yeah. That Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman is such a fucked up movie continuity-wise. Because it matches up almost perfectly with the last one, except in every visual sense possible.
It's exactly like the last one, except that it's absolutely nothing like the last one.
It's weird, because it works perfectly if you don't know the last movie, but if you know the last movie, it's really bizarre. It's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen.
I mean, that could be a good thing, because the last movie isn't exactly...
Ghost of Frankenstein is a piece of shit.
Let's just come out and say it.
Yeah, there's nothing redeeming about that fucking piece of shit movie. Which one do you think is worse, that or Dracula's Daughter?
God. I haven't seen Dracula's Daughter in a while, so I'm going to give it to Ghost of Frankenstein.
I think Son of Dracula is worse than Ghost of Frankenstein.
It's Dracula spelled backwards. Red rum.
Lon Chaney had unfortunate luck in terms of being cast as other Universal monsters, except for the Mummy.
And the Wolfman, I mean...
Yeah, but the Wolfman is the one that he started as, so... So that's why I didn't count it, Dylan. You see how I thought of that?
No.
Anyway,
Bill puts thought into things, wow.
Yeah, hey, fuck you. I actually put some thought into our first segment for the evening.
What?
First of two.
Are you telling me that we have segments?
We only have two.
Hold the phone. I don't like change.
No, because this is something that we kind of did last year. It's not something we did on the last Halloween special. This is something we did later, but I thought this was cooler than the thing we did last year, so we're going to do this. It also works better because there's only three of us, and I'm obviously not going to be the one playing because I'm the one hosting it. So I think this will work.
Someone's gotten a little too big for his britches.
What the fuck does that mean, Andres? No, it's a common sense thing.
I'm the one you are outgrowing your britches, Fat Bill.
What did you say?
I said it means that you're outgrowing your britches, and then I called you Fat Bill.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate that.
I'll say David was right in saying that he's actually here in spirit.
Fuck you, Dave. Dave's ghost.
Fuck you, Dave Spirit.
Yeah, and then I just hear out of the background, hey!
No, you got Fat Bill and Dead Dave. The ghostly adventures of Fat Bill and Dead Dave.
It's like the Funky Phantom.
Who else but Dead
Dave?
Dave?
Fat Bill, there's Asian women over there.
Followed by an hey.
That's how Dave talks. And
then he enters the door Kramer style. What should? Well, no, that was
Dave
that was
to sound like Snagglepuss. Is basically my point here. So here's our first. Here's our game for the evening, our Halloween game. So last year we did a horror movie roulette, and I thought about bringing that back this year, but I didn't.
But we hated it. No.
Well, more of the reason was because it would have taken too much time, and I thought this was more fun and also easier for me to put together.
And
so we're actually going to bring.
Are we doing the Monster Wars again?
No, we're bringing back something else. Not from the Halloween special. We're bringing back. Well, we did it on episode 12, I think. 12?
Are we bringing back the dead?
Yes.
About time.
We're gonna bring back who's dead that we would bring back to life?
There's Hitchcock.
No. If you have to bring back one person from the dead, who would it be? I'm gonna say Brandon Lee.
Aw.
You're gonna say?
Are we talking about like anyone in general?
I mean, I would like to keep it not sad, so...
Okay.
I mean, in terms of, like, personal tragedy, like, I want to bring back my dead dog,
I want to bring back my dead dog.
Well, they did a movie about that. Let's stay away from...
Sweetie.
Let's stay away from that, because that's
stay
just
away from the pet cemetery.
Sad. I would say Brandon Lee, because, I think that he is a really good actor, and I think that, or he was, and I think that he could have done some really great stuff if he would have,
I would like to save mine until Christopher Lee dies, and then bring him back.
Yeah. Dylan, whenever we make jokes about celebrities, they die, so...
Damn it.
Let's see.
Bring back Ray Harryhausen, man.
How long would he still have left to live? Like,
here's the question: Are we bringing them back in their old man bodies, or are we rejuvenating them as well?
I don't know. I didn't think this through.
It's like you bring him back and they're like, oh shit!
They die immediately after. I imagine it would be like Frankenstein,
Is this like Tales of the Crypt, like reincarnate, or like being brought back from the dead, or is this like
Let's say they come back and they relive a full life.
So let's say they live another,
say 70 years. I would say Brandon Lee because he didn't even get that originally, so that's my choice. But if Ray Harryhausen came back, let's say he would be in like his 20-year-old body and live another 70 years.
Like I'm gonna have you sit down and have you appreciate E.G. Tsuburaya.
Yeah, Ray Harryhausen. Fuck you.
I got a bone to pick with you.
You brought me back from the dead just to scold me for not liking Godzilla. Yes.
I have a bone to pick with you, you undead bastard.
That needs to be a line in the SOS movie.
I think that's the fucking last thing that he would need is like somebody else bringing him back to dead and then giving him shit about him not liking Godzilla. Who said Ray Harryhausen? Was that you, Dylan?
That was Dylan. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that your final choice?
Is that my final answer?
Yeah. Is that your final answer?
I would bring back President Mutton Chops. No.
He was only president for like a year, though. He was probably a shitty president.
No, bring back President Millard Fillmore because he looks just like Alec Baldwin, and that would get really weird. No,
What a great reason to bring back... Wait, but would you make him president again, or would you just like have him be around?
I mean, he's got the job as far as I'm concerned. He's got seniority.
I guess.
I value loyalty in this organization. And by this organization, I mean the United States of America.
Brought back Washington, and he thought he was still president, and he was like, oh, then who is the president? Well, it's kind of awkward, George, because you know all those people you had working for you who you didn't pay? Well...
He ousts Obama. Obama's like, you can't do this. I'm the president. He's like, I am the OG president.
I was the first president. Now get back in the kitchen.
But there's a 2-term limit. There wasn't when I was there.
No, he was actually the first one to suggest that because he only went president for 2 terms. They wanted him to be president for life. He didn't even want to be president initially.
Yeah, you're like, fuck that, I just went through war.
That sounds like way too much work. Fuck you. I just want to go home and smoke pot.
He's like, hey man, that's too much. That sounds like too much work. And I just went through war.
It sounds as if Bill did some president research after an embarrassing episode of DFOS.
It was not so much embarrassing as me being completely honest with the audience.
Which is generally embarrassing where you're concerned, huh?
Fuck you. So, Andres, who's your pick? Are you going with George W. Bush to see what would happen?
But he's not dead.
I'm sorry, I meant George.
Well, I may not be technically not dead, but my soul is dead.
I mean, that's a different George W.
I may not...
Spiritually, I've been dead for like the last 20 years.
No, not...
A demon has been possessing my body. That's why I sent all them fillers to Iraq.
Not so much dead in a spiritual sense, but more dead in a relevant sense.
I like how he talks like Butters from South Park. That's why I sent all them fellers.
He did kind of talk like Butters from South Park. So, Andres, who you choosing?
I said to put some money in my car insurance from Geico. That's my big announcement after coming back from the dead.
I feel like my return from the dead was misunderestimated.
Where's Condoleezza at? She's dead too. Did you bring her back? No. We
only had one choice. We only had 3 choices, and you were one. The other one was Brandon Lee, and then the other one was fucking Ray Harryhausen.
Well, they may be dead, but so are we.
What the fuck does that mean?
Our enemies are skilled and evil, but so are we. I honestly don't know where I'm going with this, but so are we.
There's a point to this.
America is a place where wings take dream.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
I love George. I miss George W. Bush so much. America was so much funnier back then.
No.
No, he made everyone hate America.
I know, but it was so much.
At least with Bill Clinton, you know.
Andres, I don't care if people hate us. All I care about is the humor.
Listen,
but at least with Bill Clinton, you know, he was a very cool, chill dude. He made the economy work for what it was in the 90s, you know. It was kind of like that sweet period where it's like the Cold War ended, the whole Islamic scare did not exist. We were just in this really kick-ass time in our lives called the 90s.
The problem was every single stand-up comedian was like, now what, after George W. Bush left office?
Let's just make fun of Barack Obama's name.
I mean, we can point out the fact that he's black, but...
I mean, we can only go so far with that.
Maybe we're not going far enough. I like the way this guy thinks. Promote him.
I promote him? What? Promote him in the realm of stand-up comedians.
He's
now a super comedian.
Super comedian.
He's a legendary super comedian.
He is now a comic lord.
Comic lord.
What do they call it in History of the World Part 1? What do they call comicus?
Oh, he's a stand-up philosopher.
Stand-up philosopher, there we go. Or a bullshit artist, as we like to call them.
Oh, B. Arthur. Did you kill anyone this week? No. Did you try to kill anyone this week? Yeah. Well, you gotta try a little harder.
That's the motivation, like, all of these, like, horror movie icons get. Did you kill someone today? No.
Oh, try. Oh, you're a bullshit artist. Yeah. Did you bullshit this week? No. Did you try to bullshit this week? Yes.
Robin Williams would be a good choice, too.
Yeah.
To be a
bullshit
artist?
Who's your choice?
No pressure.
Maybe okay, so... Let's see. I really want to know, had Heath Ledger still been alive, would we have seen one more performance of the Joker out of him?
Probably.
It's like, you're not going to play the Joker again? Back to the pits of hell where you belong.
Probably. He probably would have been. He definitely would have been in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I would have loved to I would love to go to an alternate universe where that would have happened.
Definitely.
Let's see.
So Heath Ledger's your choice?
I don't know, because I do want to bring back, like, Ishiro Honda just to see how he would react to the progression of the Godzilla series, and I just want to see, like, his personal thoughts on how his creation later evolved.
No, man.
I mean, I'd like to watch 2014 with him and just ask him questions. Like, so what do you think of that? He's like, I don't understand the language. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry, my Blu-ray does not have Japanese subtitles.
I'm sorry you can't see anything on my Blu-ray.
Now you know how we Americans feel.
I promise that black blob is Godzilla.
Show him Pacific Rim, see how he reacts.
Well, I mean, he's saying... Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Let's see.
The only thing he understands in Godzilla is when Bryan Cranston is speaking shitty Japanese. He's like, it's a really bad Japanese.
No, the only thing he reacts
to... That's not Japanese, that's fucking gibberish.
The only thing he reacts to is when Ken Watanabe says, we call him Gojira. And then
he's like, oh! Oh! He just gets up and has like a spaz attack.
He takes a large, deep breath.
And I turn to my Japanese translator and go, is that supposed to be good? And he's like, I can't tell. I don't know.
He said he likes it.
Really? Is that what that sound meant? Yes. Well, the Japanese language is complex.
That's his audio seal of approval.
He made a yummy
sound.
And
then he just fucking goes, ho, 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 ho.
That's not even Japanese.
Well, that's exactly the point. And I'm like, what does that mean? He said that means that he likes it too. And I'm like, that wasn't even Japanese. Even I know that. You're just bullshitting me, translator. I think he's talking shit.
Also, translator, do you have laryngitis? Yeah.
Oh, God. We already apologized for that, Dylan. God damn it.
I'm sorry, Jacob Baker. I know he's your friend.
Sorry, Jacob Baker's friend, whose name I don't know.
That's okay. We make fun of each other all the time. Listen, we don't like anybody.
I think that the whole time during that trip we called him Mr. Laryngitis Man.
I know, that was the most awkward conversation we ever had.
I don't think that was ever the official name.
I think it was just more... I don't think we gave him a name. Even though you listen to every episode and steal some of our jokes.
No, I don't.
You do watch every episode, though.
Yes.
When you're white bread humor. No.
At least I know that.
This is why you're not a good Mexican, Andres, because you listen to DFOF.
Your white Mexican humor.
I reject my ethnicity and replace it with my own.
On the Mexican scale, you're more of a flour tortilla as opposed to a corn tortilla.
So anyway, this game...
I'm less of a taco and more of a chalupa.
Indeed.
Anyway, so about this
person I would bring back. Ken Ishikawa, the creator of Getter Robo, he never finished his last Getter Robo story, Getter Robo Arc, which was the 5th story tale of the Getter Robo saga. He never finished it, so we kind of had...
Was it about Getter Robo saving all the animals on Earth in a boat?
It's basically Getter Robo: The Next Generation 2.
Wait, The Next Generation 2? So there was already a Next Generation, and now there's another Next Generation?
Exactly.
My God. Why doesn't he just reboot already?
Wouldn't that be the other Next Generation?
He died. That's why he didn't reboot.
He should have just rebooted and cast Chris Pine, and it all would have been fine.
Isn't that the best reason to reboot? Because he's dead?
Yeah, just reboot the
Nobody can stop us now.
Nothing's gonna stand in our way.
Not tonight! I mean, that's the whole reason why we're gonna get original Star Wars Blu-rays now, is once George Lucas dies.
Well, I hear... No, actually...
God, can we make a wish for... No, never mind.
Oh, Jesus. Imagine somebody's like, George, have you heard this fucking podcast called the Sons of Serizawa Podcast?
Earlier it was like, who would you bring back from the dead? Now it's who would you kill?
That's really unfortunate. I mean, I like that podcast. So imagine he's a fan.
If you're a fan, George Lucas, I apologize.
I don't.
I was once a fan of yours as well.
George, I don't hate Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull like most people do.
Neither do I.
But that fucking Phantom Menace picture, dude.
That Phantom Menace picture.
What was up with that picture show?
What was up with that motion picture experience in 3D IMAX?
What's going on?
It actually wasn't in 3D IMAX. Shut the fuck up, George Lucas. I'm trying to defend you.
Actually, it wasn't 3D. I was trying to get the other 2 movies in 3D. I was thinking making all in 3D.
Now it's the only Star Wars movie that you can see in 3D.
Guess what? You know that movie you hate? Well, guess what? Fuck you. The 3D version is the only one that's available in the market.
Yeah, I know, right?
Are you guys worried that Disney might water it down too much?
No, I mean, Disney has done some pretty hardcore stuff over the decades.
Well, they did.
Oh yeah. Hardcore Disney.
They used to own Miramax.
But when's the last time Disney was hardcore?
The Crow is made with Disney money.
But when's the last time that Disney was hardcore? Think about that.
It has been a while, to be fair.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to say it before.
The last movie that they made that I remember was fucking Frozen.
Well, I mean, they made Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's not necessarily a hardcore movie.
I mean, they just own that company.
Well, no, but they are technically Disney movies.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, but I mean, I don't think Disney, I don't think they interfere that much with Marvel in terms of...
They don't have to, I mean...
Then again, you could say the same thing about whenever they have their directors make their movies.
Well, Star Wars, it'll probably be the same thing with Star Wars, though, Dylan.
I don't know, though. For a company that's so, anal about maintaining their family-friendly image, nah.
Yeah,
I don't know about, it's weird. You remember the Epic Mickey games?
Yeah.
I remember when Epic Mickey first came out, everyone thought that this was going to be the hardcore edgy Mickey game, a return.
Mickey is going to go around and cut motherfuckers' throats.
Hardcore Mickey.
He's got
an Uzi, and he's gonna fuck your shit up.
He's got an evil brother who is pissed off at him because of his fame. Oswald the rabbit returns for his revenge.
It's gonna be like Single White Female, where he's gonna like steal his identity and shit.
Wait, Oswald the rabbit? You mean the one that looks like coonskin? Yeah, him.
Yeah, that guy. He's fucked up. Anyway, so...
sorry, I did want to say that... I read somewhere on IGN that Disney was working on making the original versions of Star Wars and release them on Blu-ray. The reason why it's taking so long was because the original negatives or prints were like really damaged. It's been really hard for them to like clean it all up to the standards of like the newer special editions because they weren't taken care of very well.
Well, I don't care if it's to the standards of the new special editions. Just clean it up. Just restore it as best you can, like they did.
Make it watchable, and I won't care.
Just do what Universal did with their fantastic restoration program.
Just take a rag and clean it, and that's it. Throw it in the DVD box and mail it. And people will be like, why is there just fucked up film in here? What am I supposed to do with this?
Because that's how film works. You just wipe it off. You don't have to worry about decomposition, flammability. No.
Well, not so much flammability anymore, but...
Well, speaking of prints on Blu-rays, I recently saw Godzilla against Mechagodzilla on the new Sony Blu-ray. My God, is that print shit, because it is grainy as hell. Like, whenever there's like a dark scene and there's like lights, there's like so much grain on screen. It's like someone poured like a bucket of sand all over the print before slapping it on Blu-ray. Fuck you.
Wait, what movie did you say you were watching?
Godzilla against Mechagodzilla.
Oh.
It was grainy as hell.
Yeah.
I don't know why they weren't using digital by that point. It was 2000 and whatever.
Is it possible that they simply took the DVD and just upscaled the image, or did they actually took?
No, I don't think they. I don't think they had access to masters though. So that's probably what they did.
I don't think you would necessarily get the grain look specifically.
Do you think Toho even still has the masters? I mean, we see how they took care of their fucking suits. So God knows the actual film.
And we've seen for the longest time, it was thought that classic media Godzilla was the best. Godzilla 54 was the best it was going to be, but then Criterion was like, oh hey, guess what we found that Toho wasn't even aware of.
Yeah, no, that was
cleaner print.
They're working on that for King Kong versus Godzilla right now. I read.
Criterion?
No, not Criterion, but they're working on a proper Blu-ray release of King Kong versus Godzilla with some missing scenes put back in.
Oh, now they decide to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's probably, I don't know if it's going to come out in the U.S. though, because Universal still has those rights. So
all these fucking Godzilla Blu-ray releases after I went through all the.
Not that it matters anymore. I mean, I don't know why they're so fucking anal about hanging on to those rights. It doesn't matter anymore because you can just buy the Japanese Blu-rays.
After I went through all the trouble of acquiring all 29 of them on DVD, now they're re-releasing all the motherfuckers on Blu-ray. Fucking.
I mean, I just bought the ones.
I'm pretty much staying away from the Showa Blu-rays because I feel like you can't really make them any better. The
only one I'm thinking about buying is the Godzilla 2000 Blu-ray for the Japanese version.
Likewise.
Yeah, that's what I did. I finally did manage to find those second batch of Sony Blu-rays through Best Buy.
The only one I have right now is the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy.
Did you ever finish that trilogy, by the way?
No, I just watched the first one. I haven't.
He hasn't even finished Breaking Bad, of course.
I'm getting there. I'm on my way. I was watching Louie last night, so I wasn't. I could have watched Breaking Bad, but I decided.
You were watching what last night?
Louie.
Oh, Louie.
Oh, okay.
You know the show that we got our original theme song from?
No, I thought you said Lugia, and I was like, are you talking about Pokemon the movie 2000?
I was just staring at like a 2000s wallpaper, like a desktop of Lugia that faded. Anyway, so let's get to this game.
Oh yeah, we have a game, don't we?
Yeah, we do. So what we're bringing back from last year's run of SOS. We're bringing back fucked up Bigfoot sightings, but we're not doing Bigfoot. We're
fucked up Loch Ness monster sightings.
No, that was the original idea. This time we're doing fucked up ghost stories, which I picked because there's a lot more of them. There's only so many Loch Ness monster sightings that are weird,
and they're arguably more credible.
Well, depends on who you ask.
So there's a Native American who got the shit kicked out of him by ghosts, and then he became a ghost.
That makes
and he
me
was
more...
hunted down.
Well, that makes way more sense.
And then we saw the ghost of the Native American.
Ghouls
of the Gargantua, that's great.
And then we saw the ghost of the Native American who was molested by Sasquatches.
The ghost that was molested by Sasquatches.
The ghost of the whore of the Gargantuas. Wouldn't he be a ghoul-gantua?
So, here's the idea. Same premise as Fucked Up Bigfoot Sightings. They tell you 3 ghost stories. They're not so much stories as they are encounters, because they're not that long. And you guys have to pick out which one is the fake one, and which 2 are the real ones. Simple enough?
Okay, so there are 2 real ones.
There are 2 real ones and 1 fake one.
So, 2 fake ones and 1 real one, right?
No, 2 real ones and 1 fake one.
So 3 real ones and 5 fake ones?
Yes.
All right, Bill, so here's my question. What's up with the How I Met Your Mother finale? I mean...
Well, I'll tell you.
I mean, did he in fact meet their mother?
All right, so here we go. So I'm going to tell you the 3 stories. We can talk about them. You guys can ask me any questions you may have, and then you guys will pick out the 2 real ones and the 1 fake one.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So this is Fucked Up Ghost Stories.
It might be a bit late for this, but about this idea we had about doing a podcast every other week.
Let's not do that.
So about this road trip, fellas.
Well, now we can talk about the next one. Anyway, so the first story I have for you guys is these all have names. So the first one is The Toil. This is a Malaysian ghost story. Now, this one's not so much a story as it is
So it's more of a bootleg of another well-known story from Japan.
Yeah, this one is about a young New Yorker who gets bat powers and builds a cave under his house and becomes Spider-Man. That was the actual description of Batman.
Wait,
that was an actual Batman Begins bootleg that came out.
Oh my god! Please repeat it. Please.
So, I don't remember the details, though. It would be way funnier if I had access to it.
A New Yorker got bat powers and became Spider-Man.
Yep. Hang on, let me see.
I want to know what the back says in broken English. Then Bruce, wrath parents, loved parents so much he sad when died. Then went to...
when died.
Then went mountains.
Here we go, I got it.
Train with a Razman.
Hang on, I actually have it.
You sound like an American trying to, tell the story of Batman to a Native American, and then afterwards the Native American's like, I speak perfect English, you son of a bitch.
No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, I want to read it.
Then Man-Bat came town. Then in town fought people. Big punch, low kick.
Then man who laugh. Stabbed man with pin.
Then man sound like bird. Shot with umbrella.
Stole toys.
Alright, here we go. This is it. Ready?
Wait. Okay.
Here we go.
Alright, here we go.
Batman Begins. When being a child, Bruce Wayne had witnessed with his own eyes the fact his parents of millionaire were killed cruelly. So if... I can't do it.
They know English so good.
So affected his strong desire of revenging his parents.
Revenging his parents?
Oh, this next part is fucking great. However, God had never given him a chance to fulfill his will.
Oh, what? Shit. He's like, fuck you, God. Why'd you have to kill Joe Chill for me?
Let me become Spider-Man, God! Well, hang on, we're getting to that.
Is this suddenly turning into a Daimoshin movie?
Following the advice of Roz, with a dash in the middle, Al Ghul, the chief of Ninja Group, Bruce come to get, which was a corrupted city filled with various crime groups.
Isn't there always apostrophe in Ra's al Ghul?
No, I'm not. A dash.
Oh, a dash.
A backwards dash.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Bruce found a basement under his villa, in which the equipment turned him into another person, Spider-Man. With this mask, Spider-Man stroke all criminal activities and criminals everywhere, such as Tugin, the chief of
stroking
Mafia.
Criminals? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. The chief of Mafia, Dr. Jack Straw, the abnormal drug trafficker.
Jack Straw.
Even a mysterious opponent's quite familiar with him, and that's it. Oh my god. That's the greatest thing ever.
I want to know what they wrote for Dark Knight, or as they call it, Spider-Man 2, Change Leo Pardon.
Spider-Man Fight Clown.
The Wall Crawler, with 2 R's instead of 2 L's.
This is just exactly as I envisioned it. But if this is the quality of
Wall Crawler.
I remember I saw a bunch of bootlegs at this year's Comic-Con, and I was so tempted to buy one of the Kamen Rider DVDs of Amazon, and I asked him, "Are these subtitles? Are they like really good?" And the person selling it to me, he was like, "Depends on what would you define as good?"
Do you say that English is great? No, is good English?
If this is the quality of the subtitles in those bootlegs I saw, I'm so glad I skipped out on them.
Here's the question. Are the subtitles comparable to Mill Creek Gamera? Because if so, we have a problem.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so this ghost story comes from our friends in Malaysia. So, this is the story of the Toil. Basically, in Malaysia, they believe if you abort your child, that the aborted fetus will become a demon called the Toil. And what this aborted fetus ghost does is it wanders around Malaysia at night, and it enters the homes of Malaysian men or women who are having an affair, adulterers. And what it does...
Shouldn't he be, like, exacting revenge upon, like, abortion clinics? Or am I just thinking like an American Horror writer?
So... this is fucked up. What the Toil does is it climbs up inside the vaginas of the women who are involved in the affair.
Sounds like my kind of ghost.
It climbs up inside their vaginas and then impregnates them and sucks the life out of them and kills them. Then it erupts out of their bodies and does it again and repeats the process.
So it fucks them right in the pussy.
Pretty much. That is the story of the Toil.
Sounds like something Bill would write.
So that is the story of the Toil. Any questions?
Sounds like some films I did that I'm not particularly proud of.
Something that will never see the light of day. So does the next one, actually. Any questions, boys?
No.
So the Toil abuses them sexually.
Yes. All right. So no questions then?
This is similar to Horror of the Gargantuous. All right.
Well, yeah, exactly. All right. So the next one is called The Shrine.
The Shrine. Is this one also from Malaysia?
This one's Japan. So this one is from the Japanese, and this one is the story of a samurai who was walking around the streets of Kyoto at night. And what just happened to happen, and I love this because it's like, so you've got this big, strong samurai walking around, right? It's late at night in Kyoto, and all of a sudden, this naked pervert runs out and tries to rape him.
But he has a sword.
Exactly, so he pulls his sword, and all of a sudden, the rapist bends over and sticks out his asshole at the samurai, opens up his cheeks, and there's just a giant eyeball staring out at the samurai.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. The pervert has an eyeball in his butthole.
Yes. That's all the story.
I'm lost.
This
is some John Carpenter shit. That's the whole story?
That's the whole story. No idea what happened to the samurai.
So an samurai was confronted by a nude individual with an eye hole up his bum.
I'm going to rape you! He pulls out his sword, and as a defense mechanism, the fucking ghost, because I guess it's a ghost, pulls out his asshole, and it's just an eye. It's not clear what the eye does, if this somehow stops the samurai. I mean, certainly that would put you off. But doesn't that just give you a target then? Who
came up with this ghost story? Like, I understand there are cultural differences, but I don't know of any culture where
this is a story. There's no ending. It's an anticlimax.
There's no. I don't think in any culture it would be scary to be like, and then there was an eyeball in his butthole, and they're like, what?
That's not scary. That's just weird.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. So that is the story of the Shrine.
That's some John Carpenter shit.
I don't even understand how that's a ghost story.
I mean Dylan, that music video we saw made more sense than this, and it was more scary.
It was very scary. There were penis monsters.
This was an asshole monster, so I guess that's
On the one hand, I hope that this is the fake one. On the other hand, that might be too obvious.
Okay. I know it wasn't. It clearly wasn't thought thoroughly through.
All right, so let's move on to the third and final one then. This one comes from the UK. It's called the Highgate.
It'll be normal.
I don't know about that. This is the Highgate Chicken Ghost.
And where's this from again?
This is from the UK.
And this is an actual story and not an episode of Scooby-Doo?
This is an actual story.
Like, zoink, Scoob, we got some chickens! Uh-oh, Raggy!
And then the
zoink, it's the Highgate Chicken Ghost.
Alright, so
Old Man Jenkins!
So this story begins with a natural philosopher, as they were called back then, named Sir Francis Bacon.
I've heard of him before.
Yeah, he's a fairly well-known dude. And he was having an argument with another doctor.
Bacon.
And he was arguing with him about how you could preserve meat with ice, which was like a weird idea back then. Like, that's insane. There's no way you can do that.
It could even be applied to bacon.
So
now how do you preserve the ice? With more ice.
We will have an
Sir
ice
Francis
box.
Bacon tries to prove to this other doctor that he can do this by taking a chicken and butchering it, cutting off all the feathers, by cutting off all the appendages, cutting it open, removing everything from the inside, and just filling it up with ice.
This doesn't sound like a ghost story to me. This just sounds like a recipe.
Well, hang on. We're getting to the ghost part. So he put the ice. I don't know what he did with it. He stuck it around somewhere. Obviously, it didn't really work.
Did he use a certain number of herbs and spices?
I have no idea. And then all of a sudden he just died. He just dies for some reason. He passes on.
Sir Francis Bacon dies?
Sir Francis Bacon dies.
Damn it! Now the story has no bacon in it.
Now I'm just gonna look up the guy's biography and find out if this one's true or not.
All right, hang on, hang on. No, don't hang on. So,
died while stuffing a chicken. My God.
So, no, not while.
That's how I like to go out.
I don't know what happened in between. He did this weird fucking experiment, and then later on he passed away. But by some people who visited his grave, they claim that it is haunted by a spectral chicken that haunts his gravesite and wanders around the graveyard going and chases people.
As far as things you can be haunted
That is the story of the Highgate Chicken Ghost.
In terms of things that you could be haunted by, a chicken's not bad. I mean...
Well, the reason is, like, he tortured this poor chicken, and then the chicken... I don't know why the chicken haunts his grave, though. Why wouldn't the chicken haunt the house where it was butchered?
Do chickens always haunt the houses of the people who butcher them? Because if so...
I mean, that depends on if you believe this or not, which I don't.
There are a lot of ghost chickens.
See, the only reason why I would be afraid of a chicken that came back to life if it was like the robot chicken. You know, some scientists brought him back to life.
It's a good thing they don't take revenge on those that eat them, because I can't quit chicken.
Or better yet, if we had a chicken like this who just came back from the future to avenge his dead relative.
It doesn't even do anything.
A few years ago, when everybody was like, I'm going to stop eating at Chick-fil-A because I don't agree with their politics. I'm like, screw their politics. It's good chicken.
I don't understand, though, like, why people were scared of this. It's like, so there's a chicken hanging around the grave. Woo!
My god, a chicken.
Alright, so those are the three stories. The Shrine, the Toil, and the Highgate Chicken Ghost.
Okay, I'm going to say that the Toil is correct, because is real, because that sounds like an authentic, like, folk legend type thing. Very similar to some of the early vampiric myths from, like, Europe.
It's got a whole thing where it's like ghosts are out for like revenge, and they kill those who are guilty enough as it is.
Which is a common theme in ghost stories anyway around the world. So I'm going to guess that one is in fact real. Between the other two, oh boy. Well, I can confirm that Sir Francis Bacon did die in Highgate, of pneumonia, and so that gives that story a shred of validity. Whereas the other one, I just don't want to live in a world where that one's real. So I am going to say that the eyeball in the butthole is that. There's an episode title.
Eyeball ass.
It's even better than bullet in the bathroom. Eyeball in the butthole. I'm going to guess that one is fake. And when I say guess that it's fake, I'm more begging the heavens for it to be fake.
Alright, you're saying that the Shrine is fake, and the Toil and the Highgate Chicken Ghost are real.
Yeah, why not?
Andres?
Okay, for all intents and purposes, I do agree with Dylan. But just to throw this game off, I'm just going to say the one that's most certainly true, just for fun, I'm just going to say that's false. It's not. I'm gonna play against my instinct. Everything, all 100% of me is telling me that the samurai one is fake. However, I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna just play against my conscience and go with the one that is most likely true.
So you're gonna bet against your gut and play the odds of.
So you're saying the Toil is real?
No, I'm saying the Toil is fake.
All right, the Toil is fake, and the Shrine is real.
Yeah, the samurai and the chicken. I'm going to say those are real, and the one that's most likely real, I'm going to go against my gut and say that's fake, just for fun, just to make things a lot more interesting.
All right.
But if I was going to serious, I would go with Dylan's answer. But no, I'm going to go with the Toil. I'm going to say that's fake.
Alright, so just to be clear, Dylan, you're saying the Shrine is fake and the Toil and Highgate Chicken Ghost are real, and Andres, you're saying the Shrine and Highgate Chicken Ghost are real and the Toil is fake.
I'm saying I am comfortable living in a world with ghost chickens and fetus ghosts, but not eyeball buttholes.
Alright, so here's the correct listing.
Okay.
Alright, you guys ready?
Ready.
The Toil is absolute bullshit. I completely made that up.
Really?
The Shrine is absolutely real, and the Highgate Chicken Ghost is absolutely real.
Holy shit!
Now, when I say that the Highgate Chicken Ghost and the Shrine are real, I'm saying those are actual ghost stories that I read. The Toil is based in an actual Malaysian myth, but I completely changed what the ghost does.
Holy shit!
So, Andres, you are completely right.
What does the ghost actually do?
The ghost actually just robs people's houses. That's all it does.
The ghost feed just took my Xbox.
I also love how you guys think that the Shrine is fake because it's poorly thought out, so that's the one I made up. Fuck you guys.
Well, I mean...
Fuck you guys. So... Andres, you were completely right. Dylan, you completely failed.
Okay, I did want to...
You guys should believe in my abilities as a storyteller, then. That's the lesson here.
I do want to bring this up. It's a ghost story. I hope this is not one of your ghost stories that you have mentioned, but it's really popular on the internet from 2011. It's a South Korean horror webcomic called The Bong Chon Dong Ghost.
I'm in already.
The Bong Chon Dong Ghost?
That sounds like a 70s cartoon.
So let's see. I'm just going to read this off the Know Your Memes website. Let's see. The Bong Chon Dong Ghost is a...
That name is amazing.
I know. It's like you're basically giving like a big middle finger to the Korean language. It's like with Japanese, you have all these different syllables, yet whenever you hear Korean, you go, ting dong, ting dong, 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 dong.
No, that's actually what I do for Chinese, huh?
Yeah, Chinese is more the one thing you think that. Like, Louis C.K. did this bit once where he was like, I was just out one day, and I was watching this elderly Chinese woman walking around, and I tried to think of what she was thinking of, and all I could think of was her going, and then I realized that is the stupidest thing I have ever thought, because then I realized that that's a person, and that she has actual thoughts. But I couldn't do it.
Okay, so this ghost is a South Korean...
I feel like we're like Ghostbusters Academy, like, listen to these fucked up ghost stories.
This is a South Korean horror webcomic series with a ghost of a woman who had been reportedly seen in Bongchang village of Seoul. Since its publication...
Where did you get the dong from?
I don't know, maybe dong is just ghost. It's just Korean for ghost.
It's spectral penis.
Since its publication via Korean webcomic portal in July 2011, the urban legend comic has become infamous on the English-speaking web, as well as most notably for its inclusion of partially animated sequences and audio segments using JavaScript triggers. Because there are 2 points in the webcomic, it's very short, that all of a sudden, as you're scrolling down to look at this webcomic, the website starts scrolling the webcomic for you, and you start hearing like bones cracking and like sound effects like that. To the point where it looks like your webcomic is suddenly coming to life, and you're like, holy shit!
I'm looking at the Bongchang Dong ghost right now,
and
it looks a lot like the Grudge, only with fucked up hair and the face is covered in blood.
That's exactly it. I've seen GIFs of the 2 animated sequences. It's like one where the ghost is like turning its head like an owl, and the other one is where the ghost is like walking on its hands and feet, but its stomach is like upwards, and it's like running at you.
So it's basically just stealing things from different exorcism movies. All right.
I'm walking on sunshine. Wow!
The story follows a Korean school
Now I just want you to picture Lindsay Lohan naked doing a backwards crab walk.
Wait, what?
Just do this for me. Oh.
The story follows a Korean schoolgirl coming home from an after-school study hall at 11:20 p.m. As she approaches her apartment complex, she meets a ghost of a woman asking for her baby. She tries to trick the ghost and runs away, but it only enrages...
What a genius trick that is!
She's like,
I'm going to trick this ghost. I'm going to run away.
Like, have you seen my baby? Yes, your baby is that away. Okay, now I'm going to run that away.
Hey, you! Huh?
It only enrages the...
You went that way, Doc.
That would be like saying, I'm gonna trick this robber. How'd you trick him? I shot him in the fucking face.
It only enrages the ghost, big surprise, causing it to fly towards her. The girl passes out. The girl passes out and is later retrieved by some neighbors. We later learn that it was the ghost of Mrs. Cho, who lost custody of her 2-year-old daughter and committed suicide.
Oh damn, it got sad all of a sudden.
And there's like a little website, not website.
Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, that's
even worse than the shrine.
So that's the Know Your Memes page, and you can see the 2 little GIFs, and you can see little bits of illustrations, and there are even a couple of like reaction videos to this webcomic.
Wow, that is something else. What are some of you guys' favorite ghost stories, though, in terms of, it doesn't have to be about ghosts, it can be anything. It could be just a monster story, it could be like a Bigfoot story or anything like that.
There was this kid, right, and like his parents were like ghost hunters. But then he like walked in on one of their experiments and some shit happened, and then he became like a ghost superhero.
You made a Danny Phantom reference? I want to see a dark, gritty reboot of Danny Phantom.
That's potential.
I think it could work as I'm kidding. I think it could work as a comedy, though. I'd love to see it.
Give me a dark, serious-ass Danny Phantom, like, comic book.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. A movie, I'd like it to be a comedy. I think it could work, though. I'd love to see a Danny Phantom movie.
I mean, I kind of hate the fact that it was done as a comedy series, because actually a ghost superhero is a really fucking good idea.
I mean, it's been done a million times, though. Spectre...
Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Well, that's not really a ghost. He's not a ghost. That's like saying Spawn is a ghost superhero. He's not a ghost. He's a charred up corpse.
The difference between ghost.
The difference between coasts and shores is that.
Dead Man.
Yeah, Dead Man's a ghost. Absolutely. Dead Man is probably the closest thing to a real, like, not realistic, but a legit superhero Danny Phantom.
Don't you think his name's a bit on the nose?
And Superman isn't?
Who's that?
Or Batman isn't?
Who's that? It's Dead Man. Really, what's his power? He's dead.
You're a dead man, dead man.
Well, that's not his superpower. His superpower is that he can possess people.
I'll get you, dead man.
Superpower, I'm dead. Wait a minute.
I'll get you, Alligator Man.
That is the guy who could be a superhero, is Alligator Man.
No, you know who should be a superhero? The guy who's trying to get Alligator Man.
Lon Chaney. Yeah, the police have to tell him every single person that they send him after is an alligator man.
I'll get you, alligator man.
Osama bin Laden, he's an alligator man. I'll get that alligator man!
Okay.
He just barges into the cave and just fucking blows Osama bin Laden's head off. Fuck you, alligator man!
Okay, I do remember a ghost story. It's like probably the most well-known Mexican ghost story, and that is La Llorona. And pretty much anyone who is like of Latino descent, and is listening to this, probably already knows La Llorona, the weeping woman.
How do you spell that?
Outside of a Home Depot.
What?
Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry.
It's like you can only use the Home Depot joke about 5 times a year.
Andres, I signed the paperwork. It's fine.
That's how you spell it, with 2 L's.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Let's see. It's just the basic story is that La Llorona's the ghost of this mother who lost her children, and I think she committed suicide. And in death, she is constantly looking for her children, and the legend says that she would like often come after like living children, thinking that they are her own children, and grabs them and like kills them or whatever. And so whenever like there are people like parents are trying to
wait, she thinks they're her own children, so she kills them.
Or like tries to grab them or like take them to the afterlife.
Oh, I see. So she accidentally kills them.
Yeah, and
so I was about to say, so she's looking for her children for all eternity, so that she can abuse them again.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Have you ever tried simply turning off the TV, sitting down with your children, and hitting them?
Let's see. Oh, I found it on Wikipedia. The basic story tells of a beautiful woman by the name of Maria who drowns her children in order to be with the man that she loved. The man would not have her, which devastated her. She would not take no for an answer, so she drowned herself in a river in Mexico City. Challenged at the gates of heaven as to the whereabouts of her children, she is not permitted to enter the afterlife until she has found them. Maria is forced to wander the earth for all eternity, searching in vain for her drowned offspring, with her constant weeping, giving her the name La Llorona. She is trapped between the living world and the spirit world. Parents often use this story to prevent their children from wandering out at night. Often it is said that if you lock the doors to a room with a mirror, light red candles, and say her name a couple times in front of the mirror, you may see her.
So she's Mexican Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Or like the Mexican Bell Witch. The Bell Witch is really big in Tennessee because she was from Tennessee, so it's like, whoa.
Let me ask you guys a question. Why do all ghosts seem to be women?
Because women are scary?
Well, no, I don't.
Because women be shopping?
Maybe it makes them more sympathetic and tragic.
I think that's kind of the idea, though. Because here's the thing, most ghost stories that specify gender are about women. Women and children are the ones that ghost stories tend to be about. And it's generally because, in my opinion, in history, those are the ones that had the most tragic deaths. Like, if a man was killed, historically it always seems to be perceived as, oh, well, that's what happened to them then. Like, oh, he died in war. Well, what did you expect? He went to war.
He died at the ripe old age of 25.
Or if it is about a man ghost, they usually don't specify the gender.
A man ghost.
Or a male ghost. They usually don't specify the gender. Like, there are Civil War ghost stories, and they seem to be about men, and they're about the soldiers anyway. And they usually don't specify the gender. You have to. Well, that's not a real ghost story, though, Dylan. That's a fictitious story.
Aren't they all, Bill?
Well, no, but the Headless Horseman is not a real legend, though.
It ought to be.
I think so. I just think that's kind of interesting. But I think you're right, Andres. I think sympathy and tragedy has something to do with it. I'm not saying there are no male ghosts that are tragic. I'm just saying they're stories anyway, because I don't believe in ghosts. But
what about the tragic male ghost story of Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Well, it is. No, but that's a kid though. I said women and children.
What about the tragic male ghost story that is Casper the Friendly Ghost's uncle? I mean,
he had an uncle.
Stinky, Stretch, and Fatso.
He had 3 uncles. You don't know
These seem more like teenagers to me, though.
You don't know your Casper lore, do you?
No, I don't actually, Dylan. I don't give a shit about Casper.
I actually grew up with those movies.
Well, there's no truth in that, Arthur, Dylan.
Casper lore. Okay. You remember the one? Andres, when fucking Hillary Duff was a witch?
Casper meets Wendy.
And I'm like, who the fuck is Wendy?
I know, it sounds like Wendy's supposed to be like an important character from like, I don't know, as old as Casper.
It makes you think it's like Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, except you stop for a second. You're like, who the fuck is Wendy?
But then again, you could have the same argument for like Godzilla versus Megalon. Who the fuck is Megalon?
No, but that's meat. That's versus. The word meets implies that you have 2 like previous.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like, oh, it's a big deal. They're meeting.
For the first, the chipmunks meet the Wolfman. No, but like that movie does have one good thing.
Awesome I love that movie when I was a kid. The Frankenstein one I thought sucked, but I love the Wolfman one.
Casper Meets Wendy is a terrible movie, but it does have one thing going for it: a pretty good villain.
You kind of, I don't know why, but I've not seen the movie in like 10 plus years, and judging from memory alone, he reminds me of Vincent Price.
It's George Hamilton, which I don't know if you know who George Hamilton is, but it's George Hamilton.
Let's see. Yeah.
I have a ghost story for you guys. It's not really a ghost story; it's more of a legend. But
Shelley Duvall is in that movie.
Well, I mentioned this though because it's something that was specific to my family.
Okay.
This is the story.
Damn, this guy's tanned.
Oh my God, Shelley Duvall is in that movie.
What movie?
Casper Meets Wendy. Her career went down the tubes. Oh.
She was also in the Popeye movie. What do you want from the woman?
True.
Yeah. Look, okay. Doesn't this guy look a little? Okay, sorry, I just found a picture of the guy, the villain. Doesn't he look a little bit like Vincent Price-ish, especially with that mustache?
Hang on, let me look.
His name. When I found out his name, I was like, his name's George Hamilton. I always assumed he was Hispanic, but he's just really tan. No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's
wow, this looks like a piece of shit.
It's a really bad movie. It's the worst. No,
he looks just like Vincent Price.
I'm not alone.
He looks like a Mexican Vincent
Casper,
Price. But
I have something to tell you. What is it? I am the Invisible Man, but I can see you. That's why I'm mysterious. I'm Invisible Man.
Invisible Man.
Like Andres, I haven't watched this movie since I was a child, but I remember him being the one part of the movie that I was like, this guy's entertaining. I like this guy.
She doesn't look so much like a witch as she does like a cardinal.
She looks like a little Red Riding Witch.
Yeah, exactly. Casper's bullshit, man. There's no truth in that art.
Oh, the time when I had to type Casper Meets Wendy into Google.
I just did it.
It's really weird. Not weird, but it's like...
It's so weird that they did a show about a dead child.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is like an entire franchise based on a dead child.
It's so true, though, isn't it?
This is a child who's fucking dead.
Teaming up with an actress who now has a dead career.
Aww. But true, though.
You think they ever did the origin of Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Sort of.
They did it in the second movie.
No, the first...
Oh, did they really? Was he a child that died?
In the first movie, they go into his childhood, and in the second movie, which is a prequel, although it's never mind, but
the first movie they tell you how he died. The second movie they show you like him becoming a ghost and getting used to being a ghost and all that shit.
Yeah, in the first movie they say that he pretty much died from like not pneumonia, but like what's the one where you die of cold? No.
Hypothermia.
Hypothermia, yeah.
Spirited Beginning is the name of the second movie. Casper, A Spirited Beginning. That's the one where they...
That is the stupidest title I've ever heard in my life.
That's the one where they introduced... What's that big green ghost's name?
I don't know what he is, but he was voiced by Darth Vader.
I love Big Green Ghost.
Voiced by James
Earl Jones. Yeah, Big Green Ghost.
Casper, look at me.
And he's like the king of all ghosts or some shit.
Yeah.
Is he Casper's father?
No, he is not.
He's like
Casper's father.
He's the head honcho of the underworld.
You'd have to see the first movie for that shit.
I have no interest in watching Casper the movie. I remember that Dan Aykroyd was in it. He didn't even bother to shave his mustache for it, so I assume that means that it was bad.
Wendy was a cartoon character like Casper.
Oh, she's just one that nobody remembers. All right.
Yeah, her, Casper, Richie Rich, I guess they're all from the same comic.
Yeah, from, what the fuck is that guy's name?
Harvey Comics?
Yeah,
Harvey.
That's it.
His name is Kabosh.
DreamWorks just bought all the rights to the Harvey comics, so we're probably going to see those characters come back in animation.
Imagine, I want like Richie, like Dark Knight Returns of Richie Rich with like the Home Alone kid coming back to reprise his role.
Isn't Dennis the Menace in that same league too? Isn't he also a Harvey Comics character?
I don't know. It's a different art style, but I don't know.
This character Kabosh, he looks like What If Slimer was terrifying.
I want to see a dark and gritty sequel to Richie Rich where he's old and shit and like.
It's like I'm looking at a picture of him right now, and it's like somebody took Slimer and the ghost Mufasa from Lion King and merged them together.
Casper, remember who you are. Casper?
I do remember who I am. You're dead. That's who you are.
You are a dead child.
And I own you now.
You are my bitch. It's not pedophilia because you're dead.
Like from that AVGN episode, you're dead, your parents are dead, your pets are skinned alive.
Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
You're going to hell, deal with it, game over.
Doesn't that make it necrophilia? Not really.
It's petonecrophilia.
Oh.
It sounds much funner.
What are you looking at, Bill? You were like, oh, that's terrifying.
Kabosh.
Oh, yeah, Kabosh.
Jesus Christ. He looks like the Oogie Boogie Man.
But scarier.
Except with the face of one of the ants from Ants, the Woody Allen movie.
I love Ants.
That is a great movie.
I love Ants so much. I like it better than A Bug's Life.
It's got Woody Allen in it playing an ant.
Christopher Walken?
Christopher Walken's in it too, actually.
And he's a bee or a wasp.
No, he's not a bee. He's a no. That's Tim Curry. Christopher Walken is a sergeant. He's not a sergeant. He's a colonel.
Isn't Patrick Warburton in that movie? Like, who played the big ants?
That's Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
The head of the ants, I think, is Gene Hackman.
Right.
And then Christopher Walken was his second in command. He was like, "Ho, Gene, we gotta control all these ants."
I remember being a child watching Ants, and
I assume that's what you were when you saw it.
And the fucking like scene where all of a sudden they go to war with the termites.
Oh
and
my god, that scene terrified me.
It's brutal as shit.
Yeah, it's fucking hardcore. And then the ant's face is cut off, and he's like,
No.
Don't worry, I'm gonna find your body.
Ants are like lying on the ground in pieces.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, that's why I always watch. As a kid, I always watched The Bug's Life more because it looked much more appealing to my child mind.
No, well the thing is, I didn't like A Bug's Life because I saw ants first, and I was like, this is way more interesting.
There's no death in A Bug's Life. Fuck that movie.
A Bug's Life is kind of a shitty movie.
No. Remember, Copper was ripped to shreds by the bird babies.
Fuck the bird.
Just saying, that movie kind of sucks. One of Pixar's kind of misses, in my opinion. Ants, on the other hand, fucking great. I have no idea if it holds up, by the way. I'm basing this on childhood experience.
Yeah, I need to rewatch Ants. Is Ants on Netflix? I might just say fuck this video and go watch Ants.
I have a VHS.
I used to have a VHS.
Didn't you have a ghost?
Ants. I don't know if I do anymore or not.
Didn't you have a ghost story?
I did. It's very short, so I didn't mind the tangent. So
because I also have another ghost story as well after you.
Okay. So mine is called the Moose Man. And this was told to me by my uncles, who basically just wanted to make sure that my cousins and I didn't run off into the woods at night when we were upstate, because we would do that, and they thought that was dangerous, so they came up with this story to get us to not do it.
Oh my God, you guys! Ants is on Netflix.
Basically, the Moose Man was they basically described one of my uncles, but made him a Moose Man.
You've told this story before.
Have I really?
Mm-hmm, I remember it.
Did I tell it on DF? I think I told it on DFOS though.
I don't remember. I remember you telling it.
No, I don't remember.
All right, so let me tell the story then. So basically the idea was, out in the woods there was this old hairy man who smells like rotten cheese, and they call him the Moose Man. And he kidnaps kids and makes them mow his lawn. So don't go out at night and meet the Moose Man.
That's like don't skip school because you might wander on an active minefield.
I'm not saying it's a good story, but I'm saying that's the story. So that's the story of the Moose Man, as far as I remember. I have to get one of my uncles on the show to tell the story of the Moose Man, because I don't remember it that well. But Dylan, do you have one? What's this bell tower ghost you mentioned earlier, whatever the fuck it was?
Bell tower ghost? What?
Whatever. What was it? Bell witch or whatever?
Yeah, there's a in I forget where in Tennessee, Adams, Tennessee, I think it is. This like town. There's this.
Adams owns a part of Tennessee. What?
No. No, but there was a historical thing called the Bell Witch, and I don't really know much about it, so I can't really tell you anything about it. But
well, thanks, Dylan.
I don't go in for witch stories, but it's like a big thing around here. So
let me ask you a question, and be honest. Did anybody ever try the Bloody Mary thing when they were a kid?
No, nor did I try Biggie Smalls.
South Park reference, Bill.
Oh, okay. I did. Oh, I didn't go all the way with it, because I was actually scared of it.
I always had little cousins who would always do that, but the eldest of the cousins would always do the whole screaming to scare the hurt the younger siblings before they can finish.
Well, I tried it once, and surprise, surprise, it didn't happen. I didn't go all the way with it. I didn't like the candles or anything, so I didn't go all the way, but I did try it. So that's something I did. Andres, you said you had another ghost story?
Yeah, this is another one where, just like La Llorona is a very well-known ghost story or ghost creature, or ghost character or creature in around these parts, and that is El Cucuy. And El Cucuy,
what now?
Let me see.
El Cucuy?
El Cucuy? What?
Hong Kong Fooey?
El Cucuy.
Hong Kong Fooey, #1 super guy.
Oh, El Cucuy.
Yeah, El Cucuy, #1 boogie guy.
We called it Hong Kong Fooey.
All right, just for clarity, can you say the name one more time?
El Cucuy. Like Chewy. So El Cucuy is basically the Mexican boogeyman, and it's a story, or it's a creature that's often described by parents as a way to discourage their children from misbehaving, where it's like, hey, if you don't follow what we say, El Cucuy is going to get you.
There seems to be a common theme in these Mexican ghost stories, Andres. It's always to control children.
Yeah, trust me. Mexican children are the worst, okay? They're loud, they're hyper, they're destructive. They need to scare the hell out of them to put them in their place.
So Andres has some fucked up childhood memories, and he came up with this ghost stories as a mental defense mechanism.
So what's the morality behind the chupacabra?
No, the chupacabra that's not Mexican, that's Puerto Rican.
What?
They're two different nationalities, Dylan.
Yeah, not all us Latinos are the same.
Yeah, Dylan. So wait, David's Mexican, right?
Now I know.
Let's see. It's not, according to Wikipedia, it is not the way the Cucuy looks, but what he does that scares most.
It's a male ghost. Ooh.
It is a child eater. He is a child eater and a kidnapper. It may immediately devour.
Well, of course, it's a dude then.
It may immediately devour the child, leaving no trace, or it may scare the child away to a place of... according to Wikipedia, it may spirit the child away to a place of no return, but it only does this to disobedient children.
So it might put them into a Studio Ghibli movie?
The kukui is on the lookout for child's misbehavior on the top of the roof. The kukui takes the shape of any dark shadow and stays watching. It represents the opposite of the guardian angel and is frequently compared to the devil. Others see the kukui as a representation of the deceased of the local community.
Does the kukui have a ghostly white van?
What?
Since he seems to be all about kidnapping children, does he have a ghostly
white van?
Oh,
I just said fan. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Oh.
How does he walk around like, whoa, 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 whoa. Be terrified of my slow oscillating fan.
He's driving around the mystery machine.
See, what does this thing look like?
Look at my fan!
What does this thing look like, Andres? Because right now in my head I'm picturing Count Orlok for some reason.
Basically like that. Like if you try to Google El Kukui, you'd basically see... I don't know where this picture came from.
But I just imagined a spectral version of Gabriel Iglesias.
It kind of looks like a weird, like... Just like... it does look like a vampire in sort of a way. I'm going to send you this picture that I found. It's like the first picture I found. Or what?
One of these pictures, it looks kind of like a Mexican dude with, like, the Lon Chaney London After Midnight makeup.
Let's see. That's,
no, I just found Danny Trejo from...
Yeah, I found Danny Trejo, too, from Dusk Till Dawn.
I also saw a Mexican guy frowning.
Oh, yeah, it's like Mexican problems.
It looks like a vulture... vampire thing.
I found one of a guy who's obviously very scared, and it said, can't go in the kitchen at midnight because El Kukui is in there.
That's the one I'm looking at. That's the one I saw.
That's the thing, like, a lot of my cousins, like, my aunts and uncles, they would tell my cousins, they're like, hey, as soon as you mention, it's like a one of those, like, one of those, like, Mexican stereotypes, like, hey, if you mention El Kukui, they'll immediately go, don't bring up his name. They just immediately get scared as soon as you mention the word the name El Kukui. Like, there's a series of videos on YouTube called "You Know You're Mexican When," and there's like a number of parts, and it's like, you know you're Mexican when you get afraid of the name El Kukui. It's like, Mama, I want to do this. Ay, no, mijo, you know El Kukui's gonna get you. Ay, ma.
Mommy, I want to go get the girlfriend to get lots of pussy. No. El Kukui will eat off your penis. Andres was 19 when he said this, and he totally bought it. Well, speaking of that, Andres, did you manage to acquire some spooky news stories?
Let's see, not so much spooky news, but cryptozoological news stories.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Oh.
So let's hear some. So now we're going to go to the SOS Halloween Cryptozoological News Update. Wait for it. Alright, go ahead. And now to you, Andres, with that extremely long titled news update.
There's an El Kukui movie?
Apparently.
It's called El Kukui, the motion picture and 3D event of the summer.
Actually, apparently it's directed by Danny Trejo. I didn't know this man directed things.
He did everything.
Before we get into the news, I do want to bring up something I forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode. Anna Nakagawa, the actress who played Emmy in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, died of cancer a couple weeks ago. She was 49 years old, and I just want, very, very, I totally agree. And so I do want to take a moment to just pay our respects with a moment of silence for Miss Nakagawa. Thank you, Miss Nakagawa. Your contributions to this beloved franchise will certainly not be forgotten, and we hope for the best for your family.
Is there like a set amount of time for a moment of silence? Like, I'm always hearing people say, let's have a moment of silence.
Somebody in one of your backgrounds ruined it with a cough.
That wasn't me.
Because I'm always hearing people say, hey, let's have a moment of silence, and it'll last for like 5 minutes. And I'm like,
what is a moment? What is the set duration of a moment?
I don't know. I mean, it's not
a minute, because otherwise you would say a minute.
It's not a weapon that destroys planets.
Yeah, no, it's also not Billie Piper. But let me just say my little piece. She was, I loved her in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah when I was a kid. That was one of my favorite Godzilla movies as a kid. She, 49 is incredibly young. That's younger than both of my parents. So that definitely screws at me a little bit. She was a beautiful woman. She was a good actress. So it's very sad that she passed away. So same for me that I said that Andres said. Respect to her family, and hopefully they'll it just sucks. But anyway, we just wanted to say that because obviously we're a Godzilla based podcast, and that was something that got passed around a lot this week. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But anyway, so Andres, now to the not depressing news.
Okay, so this is like first news story where it's a video actually where I sent you guys the link on Skype already.
Okay.
And a hiker releases let's see, this is from May 7th, 2014, and a hiker releases possible Sasquatch sighting near Squamish, BC.
You can find this video linked on the SOS Network homepage. And in the description of this video.
Right.
I will totally remember.
No, you won't.
Right.
I'll probably forget. All right, so let's do running commentary on this then. So you guys both at 0-0?
No, I was playing Snake. Hold on, let me click the link.
God damn it, Dylan!
Let's see. So this is in Squamish, which is in British Columbia,
Canada. That is a great
Canada.
fucking name. Squamish, BC.
Sounds like a great place to have a Sasquatch.
That would make sense, wouldn't it? It's like having a Sasquatch sighting in Saskatchewan. All right, so here we go. You guys both at 0-0?
Yeah, let's see. A BC hiker released a video of what he thinks could be Sasquatch in the mountains near Squamish, BC in Canada.
Wait,
all right, let's see how much...
Wait, the video... Columbia. Okay, I'm like, this sighting is from before Christ. Is that what you're telling me?
The video was shot 2 years ago while the man was hiking in the Tantalus Range. Now that it's been posted on YouTube, it's picked up over 245,000 views so far as of May 2014.
All right, so let's see how much we agree with the determination that this is a real Bigfoot sighting. It's on the Weather Channel, so I don't know. No, not even on the Weather Channel, the Weather Network. So I'm already suspicious. So let's give this a gander, shall we? You guys both at 0-0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so click the play button in 3, 2, 1, play. All
apparently
right, so that's shaky.
Apparently that black dot right there in the middle of the screen. I don't know why. I don't want to see your face.
Why? What are you saying?
Okay, that black
listen, when
dot.
you're out in the middle of the mountains, get a tripod. No.
All right, that is really.
Apparently that black dot in the middle of the screen is supposed to be a Sasquatch.
Wait, that speck right there?
Yeah.
That humanoid-looking speck.
I thought that was dirt on my laptop.
How about you zoom in, you fuckheads? Let's zoom in. They just zoomed in like a speck.
They zoomed in enough so that now the speck is in focus. Now
don't zoom out.
What are you doing? Now you can't even see it.
Great. Now you're going to lose track of it.
Now they're trying. Okay, here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to say that this is not a hoax by doing this, which only makes me certain that it is a hoax.
Where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Look how small it is. That's not a. There's no way that this is. This is complete bullshit.
Is it possible that they can see better than the camera? Their human eyes can see it better than the camera itself?
Absolutely, yeah. The cameras do that. It depends on what kind of camera it is, but the depth of field is going to be extended. So.
Is this as far in as we can zoom?
I guess.
Get closer to it.
How about you walk over there? I mean, I get that they're on a ridge, but...
Like, hey, Sasquatch, fuck you!
Hey, Bigfoot!
Go catch it. Go catch it with Slim Jims. Go.
Not to upset an angry Sasquatch. I've seen those jerky commercials.
They emphasize that they're in the middle of nowhere, so that way nobody thinks it's a hoax.
Yeah, you could have had a helicopter drop you off, and one of your buddies goes down into the canyon, walks around for a little while, and you guys are like, "Oh, Sasquatch! Oh!"
This is complete bullshit. This is absolutely a hoax.
This looks like a job for Bear Grylls.
I know, right?
Now I'm all alone with a Sasquatch. Better drink his own piss.
Yeah, this is bullshit, guys. I'm not buying this.
Not buying what they're selling.
No, not at all.
It seems to fit better with the Sasquatch walking up the snowy mountains with the Incredible Hulk music.
Dun, dun, dun. Yep, this one's bullshit.
The majestic Sasquatch walking back to his...
The majestic Sasquatch in its natural environment. Natural environment being in the middle of the fucking snow where apes would never be.
This is Macho the Sasquatch.
Yeah, this is bullshit. Here's how I can tell.
This is the tale of Sassy the Quatch.
I'm Morgan Freeman, here to explain this to you and in the process earn another freckle. Here's
my determination of this video. Here's my mark. That be one Sassy Quatch.
I agree with that sentiment.
Here's why it's bullshit. Number one, they're apologizing immediately for the fact that people are going to think this is a hoax by trying to explain why it's not a hoax. That immediately says it's a hoax, because if you're in the middle of a Sasquatch sighting, you're never going to think that you would have to explain that. Mm-hmm. You'd just be so shocked. Number two, the creature is moving in a random pattern. It just seems to be meandering around, and it never leaves the frame. It's clearly a guy down there. They're like, all right, just wander around for a while, and I'll tell you when we're gonna cut. Clearly bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my determination.
Okay.
Also, they clearly got that vantage point because they either didn't have a costume or the costume was so shitty that they couldn't get it.
Well, from that vantage point, they don't need a costume.
Well, exactly. That's what.
They might as well use the green gorilla costume from Amazon.
Probably. So that immediately suggests to me that this is fake. What do you guys think?
For all we know, it could be a Godzilla costume.
Right? It's so in the distance.
Old man Jenkins.
I don't buy it. Also, you know why they picked the snow? So
why?
that way the black if they didn't have a costume, they just clearly dressed the guy up all in black. So that stands out more against the snow and gives it a more defined silhouette.
But I didn't even see a silhouette. He looked like a flea crawling around on a white dog's ass.
So, very clearly they selected that location, so I determined that to be a hoax. What's your take, Andres?
I immediately default to your opinion, because this is more your expertise.
Dylan?
I have no opinion. No.
All right.
Like, just to play against my gut, I'm going to go the opposite of what I tend to think.
It's a real Sasquatch. Later on, they went down there and said hi, and it ate their face. Then it sexually assaulted them.
And then they became a Sasquatch and were shot by their peers. Oh, Andres, I actually heard about this.
Okay, yeah, so
next story.
There's two videos in the link. It's the second one.
All right, let's see them.
All right, so Iceland.
Can you send this link to me on Facebook so that way I can watch it on my phone, because my computer's spazzing out and I don't want it to crash in the middle of the recording.
Okay, and here we go.
So wait, we're watching another video?
Yeah, just got it.
It's the one that's 46 seconds long, and
I can never just play Snake on Facebook, can I?
No! We're doing a podcast, you fucking...
Shizville?
Yeah,
well, earlier I was playing fucking Super Robot Tyson. Anyway,
let's see. Icelandic...
I loathe you, Dylan.
Icelandic government commission announces legendary sea monster exists. So here we have a government that's actually acknowledging the existence of
Ebera.
of a giant Iceland worm monster. I would refer to it by its actual name, but it's too confusing to pronounce it. I'll let you guys give it a shot right here on the Skype comments.
Lagarafi. No, that's not it. That's the lake.
Well, the lake is it's like the Loch Ness monster where it's named after the lake. The Lagarflajot.
Lagarflajot?
The Lagarflajot.
And so the
the longer name is even worse. The Lagarflajot Sormer.
Lagarflajot Sormer.
All right, so Andres, what are they claiming here? What's their evidence for saying that it's real? Is it just this video?
I think so. Let's see. A government investigation carried out by the Municipal Council in Iceland has ruled that a legendary sea serpent named the it's like JonTron. Whenever there's something, he just goes which is rumored to inhabit Lake actually exists. According to the Discovery News, the commission ruled that a 2012 video of what is claimed to be Iceland's most famous lake monster is authentic.
Oh, so it's not just the most it's not the most famous lake monster, it's the most famous Icelandic lake monster.
Of course.
That really narrows it down.
They're being earnest here.
They're trying to say that they're more famous than Loch Ness.
Yeah, they wouldn't make that determination.
The Laxlexis, or the Lesvix worm, is an Icelandic lake cryptid which is purported to live in freshwater glacial-fed lake in Eglistasar. The earliest recorded sighting of the Lesvix dates back to Icelandic annals of 1345. Have continued.
So this is like a local legend for them. This.
Yeah, they did this on Destination Truth.
And have continued into the 21st century. However, sightings have increased exponentially after a home video shot in 2012 went viral. Yeah, the home video shows what looks like a long serpentine form swimming in the glacial lake in eastern Iceland. The Lechas is typically described as being 90 meters in length with many humps, and has also been reported outside the water, lying coiled up or slithering into the trees. In ancient times, sightings were considered to precede a great event such as a natural disaster.
He has many humps. His
lovely monster humps.
His lovely lady lumps.
Wow, this is a really long article. I don't feel like reading the rest of it. Let's just watch the video.
Let's watch the video of the.
Alright, you guys at 0-0?
Yeah.
It's only 46 seconds long. This will also be in the description.
Right.
Sure it will.
I will possibly remember.
Alright, so just give us a signal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I started playing it already. Alright, wait. Go back to 0-0. In 3, 2, 1, play. It looks like garbage being pulled by a string.
It's hard to tell how long it's supposed to be, considering it's hard. We don't have anything to judge its size.
It looks pretty small.
Yeah, but
looks like an anaconda.
It's not. Some has described it as being a worm.
It looks like a snake, not a worm. The cuts make me suspicious. It's swimming like Godzilla in the new movie.
Is it as me, or does it look kind of translucent? Like something you would see under a microscope?
Maybe that's the water that's on top of it.
Yeah, this one, it looks pretty, it looks real, but I don't know.
Do you think it's reptilian or a worm? If this is legit.
Who am I to question the Icelandic government?
Well, it's not reptilian. It's not even Yongari. It's more.
I would say it's more of a.
Reminds me more of a Reptilicus.
Yeah, reminds me more. I would say a Manda or Garasharp. Those are the things I would compare it to. I don't know. I don't see anything here that would immediately. I don't know if it's a hoax. It might be a misidentification.
Could be an oarfish.
Yeah, it could be. Well, what's in this lake? Are there any snakes in Iceland?
Let's see, you can't find anything on the article.
It's actually green, right?
Yes, actually, yeah. If the video is authentic and actually depicts a living creature, it may not be as monstrous as the legends say. Yeah, no shit. Many species of fish have been found which resemble quote-unquote sea monsters described in mythological tales. For example, the frilled shark and the giant oarfish. It might just be a similar species, may inhabit Lake Lagarflejot, leading to the development of legendary tales over the centuries.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm certainly more on the fence than I am about the Bigfoot one. Like, this very well might be a real creature, but I have a feeling it's something that's not nearly as interesting as what they think it is. I don't know. Well, it's like, if you think about it, it's like once Bigfoot, you know, if it does turn out to be real, of course I have my opinions on it. If Sasquatch turned out to be real, and it was a real species, like all the mystique would be gone. It would just be an ape that lives in
Bigfoot. If anybody discovered Bigfoot, it would be in their best interest to kill it and cover it up because they make way more money making TV shows about finding Bigfoot.
Absolutely. Well, that's why a lot of people say, I hope they never discover it because I like the mystery being kept alive. And I almost agree. I almost think that that's absolutely true.
Yeah, it's true, because with the Loch Ness Monster, we always imagine like a plesiosaur, and that's really badass. You know, it's a creature from the reptile from the dinosaur age.
But if it turned out to be real, then no.
It's most likely going to be like a snake or something. Or like, oh, that's not as badass as a
or just a big fish or some kind of shark that we don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't personally believe in the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, neither do I. I remember, like, a long time ago, you made that video in the character as your William Stone character, talking about the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, and I thought it was dead, yeah.
Yeah, and I commented on, that was probably one of the first times I ever commented on any of your videos, and I was like, you know, I know this is your character, but I really share that sentiment, where it's I really wanted it to exist, but it's like, growing up, it's like, well, I guess I just gotta face the facts, no matter how much I want it to be real.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, his whole thing is he thinks it existed at one point. It's just that he doesn't think it's alive anymore.
It had a heart attack in 2005.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
It's too fat for its own good. It ate all the fish in the lake.
There's just no scientific basis for the Loch Ness Monster.
It had put a mazer to its head and pulled the trigger.
It was found dead in a wharf on New Year's Day.
1980.
1980. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know about this.
Do you remember a movie called, I forgot what it was called, maybe it was just called Loch Ness, where some like scientist dude or a reporter is looking for the Loch Ness Monster, and then he finds its existence, takes pictures of it, but decides not to show them to the public?
Yeah, it wasn't called Loch Ness. I do remember that movie, though.
Yeah, I was like, if I was that guy, I was like, bitch, I would want the whole world to know that there are dinosaurs here.
What the fuck was that movie called?
That would be like finding the lost civilization of Atlantis and being like, yeah, I'm going to keep that one under my hat. Like,
Yeah, I never buy that in a movie.
And they're like, no, all the civilians were like, no, you need to keep it a secret. You know, it's these creatures, they're endangered, and they blah 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 blah. Like, whatever. The scientists will be sure not to have them killed or whatever.
If he doesn't reveal it, if it really was a real creature and he didn't reveal it to the world, somebody else was going to find it eventually. I mean.
Yeah, there's a secret cave that apparently houses the monsters.
Yeah, and this kid is able to communicate with it. It is called Loch Ness. It's from 1996. Yeah, I saw this movie.
I mean, there are a lot of caves.
It has Ted Danson in it.
Special effects weren't bad from what I remembered.
I remember a sexy-ass Irish chick. That's what I remember.
Loch Ness does have a lot of grottos, so it's not a terrible hypothesis.
Does anyone remember the Crater Lake Monster?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
But is that a real legend, or is that a movie?
It's a movie.
Oh, is that the one with the stop-motion thing?
Yeah, the stop-motion plesiosaur.
I watched the first 5 minutes, and I thought it was one of the worst things I'd ever seen.
It was really boring, and the stop-motion isn't all that impressive. I think maybe he was a student. The stop-motion animator was like a student of Harryhausen, perhaps. Mm-hmm. But it has none of the grace or charm of a Harryhausen creature.
Well, it's a 70s porno with a giant monster in it. That's all it is.
No, I certainly don't remember any porn in that movie.
No, but it had it was the quality of a 70s porno.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You mean it was shot
I'm not saying there was any sex in it.
Yeah, and there was a bad
monster comes out. They stare at each other for a while, and then Cinema Snob's like, are they gonna fuck?
They did this on Riff Tracks.
And then there's it's like I don't know how you can make a battle between a plesiosaur and a bulldozer boring, but they managed to accomplish it. So
that seems really boring, actually, Andre.
I mean, hey, there was a bulldozer versus
not very exciting.
There was a bulldozer, one of those shovel bulldozers fighting the T-Rex and Dinosaurus off a cliff.
Oh, so Bill, I discovered that the Transformers were not the first to have a robotic Apatosaurus.
Oh, no?
No. Andre showed me a different robotic Apatosaurus.
Oh, yeah, from Gigantor / Tetsujin.
Why hasn't there ever been a movie that's a Bigfoot versus a Yeti?
I don't know. We should make it.
Totally. I'm down. Let's do it.
Call it Bigfoot versus Yeti.
Yes, exactly. Let's do it.
Wouldn't it just be War of the Gargantuan?
The brown versus the white.
Yes.
The white is racist.
Yeah, exactly. It'll have a lot of social commentary about racism.
The brown one's trying to cross the border into the ice region. But the Yeti ain't having any of that. You stay on your side.
The Yeti is a diehard conservative.
These Sasquatches are coming over here and taking their jabs.
Is a hippie liberal.
I smell a sitcom.
Like the
Sasquatches are coming into the Himalayas and taking our jabs.
We have to do it with like crappy pseudomation.
Sasquatch and Yeti are in this on CBS's latest comedy, Big Feet.
Big Feet.
Coming this fall to CBS.
Hairy and smelly. Andres, do you have any other news stories?
Let's see. There's one more I have.
Okay.
That also has a video of something you can barely see. What? I hate how these people.
All right, can you Facebook IM it to me again?
Yeah.
This video better be like the fucking boogeyman riding the back of the Jersey Devil.
I better crap myself watching this video, and if I do, I'm gonna make sure you guys hear it. I'm gonna stick my microphone up my ass.
So it's gonna be the lost episode all over again, huh?
Yes, exactly. This time it won't be lost.
Let's see. Humanoid creature captured on video in Australia.
I'm immediately skeptical.
Douglas Shire, an explorer in Australia, captured the images of what he calls a Nymphilump creature attached to the roof of an
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Isn't a Nephilim a kind of angel?
It's an angel!
So. It's an angel! Oh, I wish Adam was here.
I know.
It's an angel! Angel Itza! Let's see, Nephilim creature attached to the roof of an undisclosed cave in Nick Malachy, who calls himself the Nephilim Hunter. Oh, watch out.
Nick Malachy, Nephilim Hunter.
Somebody is begging for a reality show.
Ladies, control your orgasms.
Claims he and his team didn't spot the oddity until hours later when reviewing the footage at home. Normally, I know the smell of these things, but one of the guys had a flaming torch.
I've gotten way up inside of their assholes. I know them inside out.
But Godzilla's the one with the real bad breath, huh?
But one of the guys had a flaming torch, so I couldn't catch his scent over the kerosene, Alex said.
What a fucking asshole. This guy's so full of shit.
He reminds me of the cop from Versus. I was trained in Quantico.
The 20-second-long video was taken by a pole-mounted camera and shows a humanoid-like gray figure hiding in an alcove inside a cave at a classified location the researchers dubbed the Eye of Ra.
Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh.
When
Yugi-Mans.
And the Pokios.
This cave be filled with Yugi-Mans and Pokios.
When Malik...
Only I know their scent.
But the flaming kerosene, or my gay partner, as I call him,
normally...
I was like, oh my god, where are the Nephilims?
Normally I know the scent of Yugi-Mans. It's the smell of cards and sexual dissatisfaction.
When Maliki points a flashlight in that direction, the purported creature appears to move its head in what looks like an attempt to shield its eyes from the bright beam. A closer look suggests that there could also be a second, smaller individual being carried by the bigger one in a primate-like fashion.
Here's what I think happened. I think they went into a cave and saw two guys who were high on crocodile, and they were fucking.
Oh, God.
Bath salts.
And that's what I think happened. By the way, crocodile is the most fucked up drug ever put on the market.
Crocodile is fucked up.
Go listen to this week's DFOS if you want to know more about it.
The one that has not been posted yet, but
well, it hasn't posted at the time of this recording, but it will be posted when this episode goes up.
Will we hopefully get that Jacob Baker interview finally out on the web before
that'll be out before December.
We're never going to interview Biggie at this point. We're never going to interview Biggie at this point.
Biggie is up next. I promised that man an exclusive, and I will do it.
As we did with Larry. Those two guys are waiting out there.
Biggie and Quatch will be together again.
But they were never together in the first place.
They were together in my fantasy, Andres. Don't take that away from me.
We orchestrated their entire relationship in our minds.
And they never actually met.
Simply based on how cool their names sounded together.
Their personalities might even clash, I don't know.
At least we mentioned Quatch to Biggie.
Yeah, Quatch has no idea what
we never mentioned Biggie to Quatch.
I don't know.
Who? What?
I know Quatch is aware of our show, but I don't know if he listens to us, so I don't know if he himself is aware of Biggie.
I mean, I'm friends with him on Facebook, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know Biggie is definitely a fan of this show, so I hope he keeps up with this, and I'm sure I hope he's having a riot right now listening to this.
Biggie, if you're listening, I love you, man. And I'm sorry that we haven't done an interview yet, but we're about to watch videos about primate crocodile victims, so I need to see that.
You gotta get a van and solve mysteries with Quatch. What are you waiting for?
Biggie already went out of his way to find themselves a theme song.
You gotta go hunt some Nymphilumps.
That's their first case, is the Nephilim. They team up with this fucking what is his name, Nick Marrakesh, or whatever the fuck his name is, and they're out in the woods with him, and they're just like, you sure you know what you're doing? He's like, as long as you don't have any kerosene-fueled torches, I'll be fine.
Oh, don't worry, you have a giant robot to stomp the fuck out of it.
I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna kill it. Alright, let's watch this video. I'm interested. So, what am I looking for, Andres?
Flashlight in the direction, points at a creature, moves its head away, and it looks like it could be having a smaller primate with it.
Blowing its penis. Alright, got it. Are you guys both at 0-0?
Yes.
No. Dylan, get the 0-0.
Damn it. Hold on.
Oh, God, there's this party around the corner. Of course, it's a Halloween party where... I don't know if you hear like...
No, I don't hear anything.
I heard one guy cough in the background earlier, and that was all I heard.
Okay, I'm at 0-0-0.
Alright, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, look at this schmuck.
It immediately strikes me that maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, a rock formation.
Yeah, I see something. It looks like a rock.
Looks like a coyote stuffed in between rocks.
It looks like Emir, kinda. I don't know, that's actually kind of freaky.
It doesn't look like anything to me.
I mean, it looks like rocks to me. I don't think it's real. I'm just saying that if I kind of see Emir in there. Like the vague shapes that I can see in the darkness.
I see like a bunch of limbs like crossed over with each other.
Yeah, so I get what they're saying. It's just I don't think it's anything. I think it's a bunch of rocks. Yeah, this guy's full of shit.
You roughly calculated the unidentified being to be about 10 feet tall when standing up.
What? That is not 10 feet. Are you out of your mind?
Malachi, who dedicates most of his time to finding evidence of the existence of these entities,
sharing it with the public.
Says it all started when he discovered a dead body in a sunken ship at Cape Millville in November of 2000.
That he never shared with the public because it didn't actually happen.
I found a cave above the water. In it was a Portuguese man on the wall drawn in a Spanish ship. Wait, what? 1606 Commando.
It was porn, I'm sorry. This whole thing came out of me looking at Portuguese man porn.
So wait, he found a dead Portuguese guy, and somehow this made him say, there are 10-foot-tall creatures called Nymphilump. I have to hunt them.
This is the important thing. The self-proclaimed hunter also claims to have sensed the creature's lack of intent to harm him. Wow, that's very important. He's like, not only do they not want to hurt me because they understand me, but I'm also the only hunter of them on the planet. Not because I'm the only one who thinks they're real, but because I'm the only one who can handle it.
It's like he feels like he can have like that Tarzan moment from the Disney movie where like they both put their hands against each other. Two worlds, one family.
So from the first discovery till now, I became Nick Malakia, the Nymphilump hunter, unlocking the secrets in the mountain. Dun 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 dun.
He's just filled with bullshit.
Dun 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 dun. I'm full of so much shit, it's leaking out of my ears. Dun 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 dun.
That's a lot of shit.
The Nymphilump hunter journeyed to the head.
All right then.
Oh, get this! A documentary.
Where can I get that? Where can I get that documentary on DVD?
A local restaurant in Mossman, Australia, according to this.
God bless this reporter. You there, Bill?
Yeah, I'm just reading. Sorry.
It's like it's so bad you passed out.
Wow, that is some shit right there. Well, Andres, if that's all, I think that's gonna do it.
I do have a special surprise though.
Oh, what?
I'm so I do have a brand new addition to the channels of cryptozoology. Because what we have here is a very rare creature, what is known as the butthurt hipster.
What?
And what we have here is rare footage.
This mysterious creature, Andres.
On a vast channel known as the Internet, on a site called YouTube, where we see a one butthurt hipster who has been enraged by the lack of respect towards his headwear.
Here you will see the butthurt hipster in his natural environment.
I'm at 000.
Hang on, I'm not seeing this video.
Okay, I posted it.
Well, can you send it to me on Facebook?
Oh yeah, okay.
God damn it, Andres! It's like you don't know what you're doing or something. You're not the Nymphilump hunter that I'm looking for.
No, he is the butthurt hipster hunter.
These are not the Nymphilump hunters that you're looking for.
He says that when people come up questioning his authenticity. Oh, Jesus. What is this? Alright. Alright, I am at 00. Click play in 3, 2...
Okay, hold on. Just want to let them know this video is called Mad Kid Talks About Fedora Haters.
I'm so ready for this. Alright. This is also in the description. In 3, 2, 1, play. Humane? Well,
sorry.
Not particular hat. Would you stop shaking around?
The butthurt hipster has a habit of stepping backwards and forwards.
He clearly has to pee, but he's in a bathroom. He could just go pee.
I know where this guy's
I think I beat up this kid in 3rd grade.
I know where this guy's coming from. He's got that generic white guy anger. He just has to find something to direct.
He's really not trying to let his parents know he's angry. He's speaking so low. He's like, I'm so fucking angry right now. You don't even know.
Okay. He has class, guys. Watch out.
Just go pee already, Jesus.
This is some classy shit right here.
And
this world, the world of Fedora.
You don't know fashion. That fedora doesn't even match his... Never mind.
Stupid and ass funny.
He should be wearing a dark fedora with the dark suit, but whatever.
Yeah. Technically, those aren't even fedoras. They're called trilbies.
Well, see, he's not even...
They're short-brimmed.
You don't know shit about trilbies.
Jesus!
Well, sorry, throat neck?
What's a throat neck?
Go pee.
See,
it looks like he had...
kids.
It looks like he really had to pee, and he happened to be wearing a suit. He was like, let me just do a video real quick before I pee. I hope he dies of a urinary tract infection, the fucking piece of shit. Wow. That is a nightmare for you, ain't it?
That was the march
so what do you think?
about her hipster.
So what do you think, Bill? Is this legit or not?
I think this might be fake, I gotta say. It seems almost too stupid to be true. I don't know, I'm on the fence about this one. We'll see. I feel the same way about this one as I do about the snake one. It may or may not be true. I need some confirmation. It looks to me like a guy just had to go pee really bad, and he decided to do a video.
I feel like he had... Like I said, I feel like he has that sort of generic white guy anger, and he had to find something to direct it at, and he was like, people don't like my fedora.
I think he's got... Well, he's talking low, so I presume he's trying to not alert his parents that he's doing a video. And there's a cut halfway through, and I think the cut was, Jimmy, stop bitching about your tiny dick on the YouTube, and get down here and take out the trash. Mom, I'm doing a video about my self-expression. Leave me alone. I don't fucking care. Get down here and wake up your father. He's got to have sex with me again.
Just pee already.
Just take a piss, goddammit.
For God's sake, stop rocking back and forth.
Get up, you lazy bastard.
Mama says to go on YouTube. YouTube can sign my ass.
Hello, crazy fedora mad kid. This is Jerry Lewis, and I just like to say, stop being a little bitch.
Stop with the moving forward and the backwards and the badness
and
the cursing and the whole...
talking low
you're giving me a goddamn epileptic seizure. You're activating my illness, and it's not very good.
You better stop with the complaining. I'll hit you with a 2x4. Come on, go pee, you lazy bastard. Give me that fedora. You don't even need it.
You with your crappy suit and your glasses and the badness.
Is he trying with that with the whole blazer? Like, is he trying to be like if he
show you how classy I am by looking like he looks like a guy from a crappy beer commercial shot by a college film student.
Like, it looks like he's wearing jeans with a blazer with a non-matching fedora. Like, nothing about his wardrobe matches.
I know. Also, the color of the fedora doesn't match with the color of the suit.
Nah.
He claims to know fashion, but I don't see that. I just see I just see bullshit.
He claims that swag is for haters. Swag is for haters and class is for men.
No.
Swag. It's like, what does that mean? Isn't swag supposed to be a good thing?
No. Swag is for boys, he says, and what he has is class, because if there's anything that this was, it was some classy shit.
Yeah, a guy in a bathroom ranting about fedoras. That is some manly shit right there. That is
emphasis on shit.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, kids, I think that's going to do it for the Sons of Serizawa Halloween Spectacular 2, The Sun Bears Strike Back. I wish there were more Sun Bears in this, but of course we didn't have Adam, so I think that was because...
I mean, there's a zombie sun bear on the title card.
Yeah, at least the sun bear is on the title card.
Hold on. Let me make up for that. Ooh, you can do with your sun bears.
He made everything sun bears.
The sun bear is sound.
Sun bears everywhere.
Double sun bear right across the sky.
So
what does it mean?
So Consequences will never be
there all the way.
We don't need to say it. I have it on my phone. Consequences will never be the same.
Oh, the huge manatee.
What? The huge manatee.
Go look for that picture.
Consequences will never be the same. What the fuck?
All right, I think
that's how you end a podcast, ladies.
Yeah, that's it, with crappy memes. So let's get announcements out of the way quickly. A couple things. What are the announcements now? Oh yeah. So coming up next week will be the long-awaited by basically just Dylan and I 1 year anniversary of the Demons from Outer Space, the first SOS spin-off podcast. In which we will be doing a very, very special thing, which we are not going to spoil, so you'll have to watch the episode to figure out what it is. We've been trying to get people to guess it, and some people have gotten close to what we're going to do, but not what it's on. It's actually really obvious if you think about what our show is based on. So
I'll give them hints, Bill.
They'll guess it now, so try and guess.
You're doing a review of Season 1 of Arthur.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yes, Andres, yes.
What?
Well done.
Of the cartoon show?
Yes, Arthur the Aardvark.
Why not Franklin the Turtle?
What does that have to do with fucking demons? Oh, you remember
you talked about Zazubaar.
Why not
What
Little
does
Bear?
that have to do with shit?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, fuck you.
Sit
So
down
we
and
should
watch
look
Pappy
out.
Druid finally.
Look out for the 1 year anniversary of the Demons from Outer Space coming soon.
Okay, at this point, I think I've already guessed it.
All right. Well, you can tell me afterwards.
Right.
And we will
So look out for that coming soon, and be sure to spread it around. We'll have a new intro, new title card, everything. So be sure to look out for that soon. Of course, look out for Godzilla Odyssey. More issues coming soon. As we announced in the last DFOS, the upcoming issues are delayed a bit. Or at least the next one is. The one after that should be on track. But the third issue is going to be delayed, so that way we have some more time to get it done. So look out for that coming soon in the next couple weeks. Be sure to like the Godzilla Odyssey page and SOS Network homepage on Facebook for more updates on both things. And please like the SOS Network homepage. We haven't gotten a new like in like a month, so...
We're still at 182, so that's impressive, I guess, for a bunch of semi-quasi, pseudo-zealous YouTube personalities.
Pretty much.
Although we would appreciate if we had more likes.
Yeah, it would be good. What do you guys have to announce?
Stay tuned for episodes 11 and 12 of Shoe Watch, as well as upcoming review for the Box Trolls and the Book of Life.
Go watch.
And
sorry.
Just still developing my top 15 giant robots video.
Good.
Go watch the 10th episode special thingy of Kaiju Spotlight. Be on the lookout for the upcoming, or maybe up by the time of this video, probably not, but maybe, review of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. Also, me and Adam are doing some Daimajin reviews that are going to start going up on his channel after he finishes. Congratulations, so you can look out for that. And, yeah, that's about it for me.
Cool.
And on David's channel, he recently made a little documentary where he analyzes and defends against the common criticisms against Godzilla 2014. It's been very eye-opening for me personally. He was able to find some things that I couldn't see myself, and it's very entertaining. It's surprisingly, even though David spouts nothing but pure random bullshit here on the on the
He's
show.
He's surprisingly intellectual on his own channel. On this show, he's just a madman spouting gibberish.
But yeah, check
well,
out.
He's got a script. He's actually pretty good.
Yes, this is David at its best. So good on you, David. The man can read.
The man can read.
I don't. Not so much, but
I don't have
it reading.
They called it reading. I don't have anything really coming up on my channel aside from the podcast, just for lack of time. So no plans right now. What was that?
Jacob Baker interview?
Well, that's a podcast.
Oh.
That's coming up in the next few weeks. As soon as these two go up, as soon as these couple specials go up, I'm gonna get cranking on that. So look out for that coming soon. But aside from that, I wish I had more going on my channel right now, but I just don't have the time. So,
well, you already went through an entire palooza, so
I did a palooza recently. So fuck you guys. No. Hopefully I'm gonna have more stuff coming up when Christmas vacation rolls around. So look out for that. Not sure what I'm going to do, but I'll do something. The only thing I'm going to announce now that's going to be coming up soon is Any Questions 4 I'm planning on doing, my big Q&A I like to do every year, so that's going to be coming up soon. I've built up a lot of subscribers over the past year, so I'm definitely looking forward to that and all the questions I'm hopefully going to get, so I'll do a video about that soon, and I'll give that a couple weeks to
Are you going to attempt to do it live again?
Yes.
Is this because why not?
Yes. No, this is not because why not. This is Any Questions.
Any Questions is scheduled. Why not is more why not.
Yeah, it's like, I'll do a live show now. I don't do those so much anymore because my computer is a piece of shit. Actually, hopefully by the time we do that, I'll have a new computer, so.
The Q&A 3, the return.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, and also...
all of his questions will be submitted from Alan Moore.
Would you like to see my serpent gun? No, I would not, Alan Moore, but it's my penis. Also look out for
decorative bum paper.
Also look out for the continued adventures of Alan Moore on every episode of the Demons from Outer Space.
Oh my god, the last one.
Oh, the last one is fucking beautiful. Anyway, so I think that's going to do it for the second SOS Halloween Spectacular. Thank you, as always, for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed. And, of course, we wish you all a very happy and safe Halloween. Until next time, I'm Bill Worster, a.k.a. Zazubaar.
I'm SuperDM64.
And I'm Andres Perez, a.k.a. Kaiju Noir. And kids, stay away from those razor-sharp-filled apples.
And as always, or as at least it always is for the SOS Halloween Spectacular, the Sun Bear rises! And the scientists...